Welcome back to the GOAT League on this beautiful Wednesday afternoon. Evan Smith alongside Caden McCrory for what I'm told is a highly anticipated matchup between green and black. Obviously, I haven't been here the first 2 weeks, so we'll let Caden walk you through our first match of the night.
Both teams, we'll start with green, 0-2 to start the year. They've been averaging 12.5 goals against in their last two matches, after losing 15-5 to the first-ranked purple squad, and then last week to 10-2 to Team White. As for Team Black, they won their first game 14-10 against last year's runner-up in Team Red, and then fell to the as-aforementioned purple squad 9-3 last week. But just off the view of the camera, you can tell that green outnumbers black by about 2-1.
So, I got told I should take the under on this matchup. I'm sticking to the green line at 5. What do we think the score might be? Gotta work backwards from there.
Green's averaged 12.5 against. Black averaged about 9.5 against. So if we're basing it off of that.
So 10-5 would be like the line?
All right, 15 goals, over and under.
You know, just because of the lack of black presence, I'm going to say over.
Okay.
Because I feel like they'll still score what they need to score, but green will have some extra opportunities to sneak some through there.
Give me the under here. I'm feeling a nice defensive game here, and then Butterbaugh and Fry will shine like they had before.
Butterbaugh 0-2 with a 12.50 goals against average through his first couple games. Fry, though, 1-0 with a 10.
Yeah, I'll say with Butterbaugh, Andrew and I talked about this all last week, and of course the week before that. Butterbaugh averages about 45 shots per game, which in the GOAT League is an excessive amount, to say the least. So, I mean, you look at those stats, and man, that's not very good, but also you're like, watch how many 2-1-0s he has to go up against, in the first 2 weeks. So hopefully his defense gives him a little bit more love today.
Getting ready for the initial face-off. It's going to be won by Black, taken into the offensive zone. First shot's going to go around the net, taken by Mikulski. Second one, bounced off the goaltender right behind the net. Lost up, picked up by Ken Davis for green. Launches it forward. It's got a man in front, but he can't complete the pass. Cycles it around the goalie. Bit of a missed opportunity, but that's a quick pass across. And another one, save made. Backhand saved as well. And a great start by Carson Fry.
Yeah, Carson Fry getting tested early down there at the end of that one. The other way, Landon Butterbaugh, quick 2 shots from Morehouse and Michalski. And some easy stops there to keep this 0-0.
Green's going to win it in the offensive zone. Flipped it back to Mahler. And play stopped.
I think we're going to see a lot more of that from Green. We talked about their lack of scoring in the first 2 games. Get it to the point, put someone in front, and screen Carson Fry and get that rebound.
Green's going to nab it again, but can't control possession of it. Moving forward by Mikulski once more. His shot's going to go wide. Black's battling in the corner to keep it, but it ends up on the stick of Mahler. Passes back to Davis, back out in front. His shot's going to go wide. And Black's going the other way once more. Mikulski's shot goes over the left shoulder and in. 1-0 for Team Black.
And Michalski last week suited up for Team Green as a substitute, suits up for Team Black this week as a substitute, and a goal in each contest. Very good showing here for Garrett Michalski in his first 2 games here in the GOAT 4v4 League.
Face off, won by Green. It's going to get launched all the way back to the corner. But they'll hold on until they whip it around the corner, and it gets nabbed by the aforementioned Michalski. Black's on a cycle. Bell Sterling. He's going to hold it. Looking good old 3v3 Phil Kessel-like until he gets it nabbed by Blyer. Blyer's pass across, and a shot is saved off the stick of Shaver. Battle in the corner. It's taken by Black. Luke Walcott has had it before it gets up down behind the net. And it's a rush for Team Black. So carried all the way through. Bell Sterling, bit of a puck hog so far. He tries to put it over the edge, but riding the rails and keeping it is Butterbaugh.
You call him a puck hog, but also he has 5 goals in the first 2 games here for Team Black.
Hey, I
being
didn't mean it as an
responsible
insult.
for a lot of goals here for Team Black. I'd rather just stick, the puck behind his stick here.
Hey, description, not insults. And it netted them an offensive zone faceoff, which they'll win. Captain Morehouse is going to cycle it through, pass out in front. Ends up on the stick of Sawecki. And he's got it back at the point. Once again, he'll fire it. Tip goes wide. Morehouse couldn't redirect it the right way. It ends up back with Sawecki, and he gets some moves out in front, but it's going to go wide too. Black almost holds on, but it's nabbed and taken into the other zone. Quick shot's going to get tipped. Ends up behind the net. Green just holding on to it momentarily. And a wide open opportunity for Jackson Morehouse. One-on-one. He can't put it through the 5-hole. He'll cycle through, holding on. And his pass just wide to the left. Or excuse the right of the goalie, or left. Out in front, another opportunity for Sawecki, and a few rebound chances for Morehouse won't go in. And now it's Cam Davis the other way. Absolutely no one in sight. He's got it all to himself. Backhand is saved. His rebound shot, though, off the pads once again and frozen.
Great opportunities from both sides here, and even better efforts here by Landon Butterbaugh and Carson Fry tonight. A handful of good chances, including what looked like 4 shots in a row from Jackson Morehouse and Nick Sawicki down there on the opposite end.
Not going to lie, I was distracted on Cam Davis's rush by the fact that his socks look exactly like the socks SpongeBob wears.
Yeah, that's the fit for Chippewa in the NAHL, which is an interesting style choice for them. But honestly, I like it with the green jersey.
See, I probably wouldn't have noticed it if it wasn't for the green jerseys. That was Green's back in their offensive zone. Looks like somebody got hit with that puck. Well, the attention was on cartoons, but battling behind the net is Simcoe. He's going to take a shot right into the glove.
Yeah, Simcoe.
17:55 to go.
Simcoe, one of the guys here that I think Green's expecting a lot more out of in terms of goal production. Last season put up 10. They're without captain Colby Saganook today, so a lot of offensive production needs to revolve around number 10 in Green.
And holding possession in the offensive end. Tries cycling it through. Davis is in a battle. Doesn't hold on, but he keeps keeps Black from an immediate rush, but they end up with one. 2 on 3, rather. Flipping it to the corner. Over there, Green held back a little bit, which allowed almost a Michigan-shaped opportunity. But all's well that ends well as Brody Simcoe's got an opportunity one-on-one. His backhand, and he scores. Backhand beauty by Brody Simcoe.
The player I expected to get on the score sheet for Green gets free and goes upstairs. A beautiful backhand on Carson Fry. Not much I don't think Fry could have done there to stop that one, and we're outside of the one.
Yeah, we've seen a few of the, I think every actual one-on-one hasn't had a super skillful ending, so maybe Fry was not ready for that. Morehouse. Oops, sorry. Wachowski. Hands it off, and it ends up with Bell Sterling. He'll lose it momentarily, but spin right back for it. And Dodgers one man, but now it's a 3-on-0 opportunity for Green. Shaver's got it passed across. They score.
Yep, back of the net there.
Score. I couldn't tell if that went through or behind or into the net.
With a give and go between Tyler Shaver and Aaron Blair, and that one shot so hard off the stick by Blair that I don't think anyone knew for the initial chance where it ended up. But upstairs on Carson Fry, 2-1 Green.
I was like, it looks like it went in, but then I just lost it.
Yeah, I don't think everyone knew. They were just like, wait, where'd it go? And then they're digging it up top, and then you're like, oh, yeah.
Walkowski's shot behind the net. Black holding on. And nabbed and taken out of the zone by Green. No possession, though, as they chase it down the wall. It's going to get tipped the other way now. Ends up with Shaver in his defensive zone. Flips it off and makes a couple moves to get it forward for Nolan Snyder. His shot and saved.
What a power wrister from the newcomer substitution, Nolan Snyder. Played with Penn's Elite 15U, got drafted to Kingston in the Ontario Hockey League this pass go around, and this kid is a very good shot. 34 goals and 96 points last season for the Pens Elite squad.
Black's going to win that face-off and launch it out. Interesting ricochet move. Usually you don't see them bounce it off the side like that.
Yeah, it's just, I think it also puts how much power you put on the side of that to make sure that puck, had a decent chance.
Yeah, it also didn't go too high, so
Exactly.
that they would. As there's another cross the net opportunity. That time it does go just wide. And now Black's got a 2-on-0. Shot, it's going to be saved, but a wide open opportunity left. And they score. Nick Sawicki, right place, right time.
Yeah, it all starts with the breakaway by the other newcomer today, Johnny Flood Jr., the Pens Elite 18U alum now, playing for Austin and Null next year. Initial shot saved by Butterball, and then cleanup duty for Nick Sawicki. He'll take that every day. We're tied.
More of a curling goal than it is a hockey one right there.
As long as it counts.
Just sweep it. As another quick shot, that one's going to get saved, although very uncomfortably it looked like.
Yeah,
I don't think
Butterball.
Butterball knew where that puck was when he had it.
Yeah, definitely looked that way. And Butterball's been tested very early on here.
If you couldn't see the camera, he was looking at his glove when it came out through his 5-hole.
Oh boy.
Morehouse off the face-off. His shot's going to be blocked by the pads. Almost had a rebound opportunity for Flood, but Green's going the other direction now. A couple of fancy moves. It ends up going in front of the goalie. He doesn't see it. Morrison moves in. Bit of a hodgepodge there. Nothing happens. Goalie's still not on his feet yet, and he's finally going to be able to freeze that. No, he's not. It comes out once more. Chaos all over the place. It's going to bounce around. Fry gets back on his feet. Green's still pushing around the offensive zone. Another nice shot saved off the arm. Right out in front now, off the post. Still not in. Carson Fry is earning his paycheck tonight.
Yeah, but I don't think they get paid. I think they play to play.
Metaphors, buddy. It's finally going to exit the zone, and now Black's got a good opportunity. Jackson Morehouse in, backhand save made. Goalie battle, if I've ever seen one in this league.
Yeah, I mean, what I said in the opener, I said this would be a defensive showdown. I guess that includes the goaltenders.
Yeah. As another opportunity. Black's on a 4-on-2. Shot's going to go off of the stick and in the air. And now Green the other way. Had a man ahead, but he couldn't get the pass off and find out to Blyer. Shot back to Davis, saved. Blyer's going to go back out. Pass across the net, can't connect on the shot. Morehouse is going to whip it out. And it's a foot race to the puck. Black's going to win it. In the hands of Michalski, but they aren't going to do anything with the rush until a pass out in front. A fancy move's going to go off the pad. Bouncing it around. Another chance out in front for Black. And some more fancy moves and robbed with the glove.
And then into the back of the net. I thought he saved it at first.
Yeah, I thought I heard the glove and everything. Guess not.
Lee Michalski is second of the game, and still, Landon Butterball did get the initial piece of it, and I guess rolled through the glove to make it 3-2 here.
That might have been the most entertaining stretch of hockey that I've seen in this league, if I remember these last couple of years. That was...
Only one goal to show for it.
Yeah. And Black's looking for a second one really quickly, but it's going to get poke-checked away by Butterball. And Green's going to try to escape, but that puck's going to get nabbed. Pass back to get nabbed, and Brody Simcoe got a chance. His shot saved. Battling against the boards. Pass out to the other side. Saved again. But still holding on. Simcoe gets another opportunity. That one's saved too. And Black trying to do some cherry picking. It's going to be called onside and through the 5-hole. That's going to be another goal for Michalski.
A hat trick from Michalski. I think he got away with one. That looked offsides to me.
Yeah, now, all of us in this broadcast clearly wears race glasses, so we can't be the best judges. But,
Yes.
But,
Hey,
zebras were my favorite animal until I started liking hockey. True story. Green's got another opportunity. Some fire in their eyes, now down 2. Out to the side, making chance. Another rebound opportunity. Carson Fry take a bow if he keeps that one out too. Now it's Black the other direction. Yanchin's going to pass across. Ends up behind the net. Right out in front. Going to whiff on that shot. And now there's 3 green players just sprinting towards the puck. Only one man in black to counter. Pull up to the side. He shoots and scores.
Cam Davis.
Cam Davis with a beautiful one-timer.
Yeah, Davis back in the lineup, missed the first 2 weeks. Last time he played was in the infamous brawl against Team Purple that he was involved in. And another person that they love to have back. Had 3 goals last season. Or 6 goals, last season for Team 3.
And he just took another quick shot. I think he thought he scored based on the arm movement there, but off the pad, I believe. And Black the other direction. Couple of moves, but Mahler is able to block any shot attempt there. Back to the corner of the net. Another shot's going to go flying, and that'll be called out of play as we will freeze with 8:50 to go.
So look at the shot totals here early, 22-17 in favor of Team Green. This kind of shows you how much at times both Fry and Butterbaugh have been peppered with shots in front of their crease. And keeping the score relatively small here for GOAT standards.
Yeah, if we were playing the old judges scorecard game, Green's looked better so far in this contest.
The deserve to win meter is on one side right now.
Yeah. But you don't deserve anything in hockey. You win it. Back in. Black's going to take another rush opportunity. Morehouse. That one's called offsides.
I think that one was closer to being onside than the initial Michalski goal.
Yeah. Zeros.
I think that one was offside. I want to be clear about that one. I think that was a little bit closer, though.
Black wins the faceoff once more. Skating it in is Lashin. Quick pass and a one-timer. And he scores. Jackson Morehouse brings the lead back to 2.
Ooh, beautiful shot from the captain, Jackson Morehouse. His dad, David Morehouse, in attendance today. Formerly the Penguins, now works for the Stillers. Good to see him here in a place that he kind of helped build.
The rush forward. Morehouse is open on the other side. His shot's going to go around the goalie. That looked like a nice pad save. It ricocheted in a very, very weird fashion.
Yeah, I mean,
ends up in the bench.
You look at the setup that Black continues to try to do here is put Morehouse back door and feed him. Butterbaugh caught that one. And I wonder how many more times Black tries that again before, Butterbaugh fully, instinctually just goes, all right, this is a cross crease back door.
Yeah. Black wins the faceoff initially, but, and up with it after a series of steals. Now another pass across. Can be saved. Couple of moves, gets Jake Stock into the offensive zone, but he's not going to do anything with it before Black goes back the other direction. Bell Sterling's got some dangles. He'll lose it to Simcoe. Simcoe's going to lead the charge. He's looking for somebody. He'll pass it off. Shot. Scores. That was Jake Stock.
And that one, another quick in and out. But Jake Stock gets the first of his GOAT career on that one. And Green inching it closer to a 1-goal game now.
And folks, he's from Cleveland. Don't give him too much slack. Face off one by Black and rushed in by Michalski. Oh, no, side of the net. Had me fooled. Now another run front. They can't connect. And it's a rush opportunity for the aforementioned Cleveland boy, Jake Stock. Makes a couple moves to the sides, and he scores again. Beautiful moves there, and absolutely fooled. Carson Fry had him on his back.
Well, this is exactly what you want to see if your Team Green is the guys that are newer, starting to find their role, find their skill. Even though he did play for a Cleveland team last year, Jake Stock is making his name here with back-to-backs.
Everything's better when you leave Cleveland.
Look at this. Doing much better. Before he goes to Shreveport the Null next year, away from Cleveland.
And a wraparound pass led to another offsides.
Yeah, that one. That's 2 right calls in a row there for offsides from the Zebras. As Team Black argues.
I think he heard us, and he's like, "That's not happening again."
They're putting this all the way down here too. Giving Green all the advantage right now.
That looks like Black won the face-off, but they launched it backwards and ended up right on the stick of Mahler. A bit of a neutral zone trap until Shaver takes it to a 3-on-1. A shot opportunity saved and frozen with 4:25 to go in this first half.
Yeah, no score clock again. If you're newer watching, we're going with a different graphic, which I think looks way cooler than last year's. So we'll just keep saying time as we go further and further along. As you can see, 2 more games after this, the first of 3.
Take around the net. Intercepted pass there and a clutch moment for Black to move the other direction. Leo Lashing rips one. It's saved and flying behind the net. Green's going to take it. Ruffles it around the boards. Black will keep it in the zone. And some more battling on that side until it's finally brought out. Pass across. Off the turn. Lost my words there. I was thought for sure that was in. And now it was Butterball's chance to be on his back, but he made the save. Pass across, saved, and scoring is.
I think they're going to give it to Mahler there.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what it hit in front. Maybe a Black defender stick, but.
Yeah, it looked like he had it saved, and then I just see it pop out behind him. Nonetheless, Green's already outdone our expectations.
Yeah, this is their second lead of the game now, and 6 goals. You put them at 5.
Hey, you guys put them at 5. I just went with it.
Yeah, we're completely, guessing as we go along here. But yeah, we did get confirmation. It was off a Black defender.
And Green not ready to let up yet. They continue to hold it. Cam Davis has it. Stolen from him. Black goes back the other way. And that shot scores. Luke Walkoskis.
Just as the lead is given, it is taken away just like that. And I think we're going to see a lot more of this as this game continues.
Yeah, and Butterball is not happy about that one. He's probably going to sit down during the halftime break and write himself an apology note for letting that one through.
That'd be quick.
But Cam Davis makes it not that big of a deal as he scores another one. The pace quickening in these last 2 minutes.
Yeah, there's still one more period to go here, guys. Let's save some goals for the next one, all right? Like, I know how important it is to take a lead into your 1-minute break. But, man, they're laying it all on the line right now.
And Davis is going to battle for that face-off, too. Gives it back to Simcoe. He makes a quick dangle. Now he's got to rush. Another nice move. He's out in front. Through the legs. An absolute beauty by Brody Simcoe.
And there we go. That is the first highlight reel goal of the year that I think is worthy of clipping. And, man, Brody Simcoe. What a beautiful dangle. And then between the legs upstairs on Fries and Green. All the momentum right now.
He was a man on a mission. I believe that makes it 8-6?
Yes. They're a little late on the score there, I believe. Yeah, we were right. They're wrong. Obviously, you guys can't see it at the moment.
They're probably busy picking up their jaws after that one. And Green still out in front. Another opportunity between the legs. That one's going to get saved off the glove. Back to Simcoe from the point. He's going to make another nice move. That shot saved that time as the clock passes 1 minute remaining in the first period, and Michigan still sucks.
Okay, here. Well, we can talk about that a little later, of course, on purple plays.
I don't know what you're talking about. Anyways.
Yeah. It might be a McKenna or something doing that. I don't know.
Green, another shot opportunity. Rebound is lost. Oh! Goal there. Not going to lie, I didn't quite see exactly what just happened. I just saw the goalie facing the wrong way.
Yeah, so Morehouse tried to play the puck out, lost it, and then Cam Davis just saw daylight and put it in the back of the net.
You'll take those any day of the week, I guess.
Hat-trick for Cam Davis as well here.
And Green now with a commanding 3-goal lead. Likely going to hold that. Nope. 15 seconds. I shouldn't speak too soon. Save made. Now I can say likely going to carry that into the halftime break as we cross 10 seconds. I don't think we're going to get another playoff.
Yeah, that's Butterball bailing his team out at the end after a costly mistake. And keeping this a 3-goal lead
So
here for Team Green.
Green, the underdogs, heading into halftime with a 9-6 lead. Numbers matter, I guess. Take a quick break. We'll see you back here in like a minute. I don't know about you, but can you rest up for a second half of hockey in that, what, minute 30 seconds it took?
I don't know. It's 23 running clock at least.
Yeah.
It'll be quick.
As long as I mean, hey, 3-goal game. We're on pace to have that clock start stopping.
We're also on pace to have 30 goals by the end of this game.
Should have bet the over. As a couple of quick dangles out in the front. Nothing's going to happen there for Team Black, but they hold on to it. Well, Sterling's making some moves. He flicks a backhander. Nothing happens there. Wilding out in the front. Green's going to send it forward. Brody Simcoe. And Cam Davis, the 2 stars in the first half, connects. Shot goes wide. And Black's trying to escape that trap by Green. They end up with a 2-on-1. He's going to keep it for himself as he goes around the net. Pass out in front. He scores. Cowan, Bell Sterling.
Yeah, Bell Sterling backdoor, 6th goal of the GOAT 4v4 season. In contention right now for the top of the goal scoring race. I know there's a couple guys on there, including Matt DeMarsico, Quinn McKenzie. So Black going to rely on Bell Sterling a lot here in the second half.
Matt DeMarsico is probably going to have to start locking in this league before he goes and plays with some McKenna.
Some bum.
Green out in front, another opportunity. And it's just bouncing around for Aaron Blyer, just throwing his stick around, trying to keep that puck in the zone, but it fails into back. It's the other way. Another backhand shot, saved.
Whew. What a beautiful opportunity there for Team Black and Cohen Bell Sterling. Landon Butterbach has been flashy with that glove, especially on the backhand chances.
Yeah, beautiful save on the ground there. Face-off gets stalemated. Still trapped there. Green's got it. Tries to whip it. It goes straight into the stick of Sawecki. And back out in front. Bounces around. There's a trip there, but I think it's black on black there. They'll go on cycle. Taking a couple seconds. And a quick shot and score. Nick Sawecki.
Yeah, what a shot there by Nick Sawicki. beating Butterball, and all of a sudden, it's a one-goal game.
Yeah.
It's exactly what Team Black needed out of the break. And only having 6 players, it's hard to be able to do that.
But I guess they really could find a way to get some energy in that 1 minute.
It helps.
Break.
It all helps at the end of the day.
Second half team has another shot very close to going in, but Butterball keeps it away.
And that one out of play, and we'll get a face-off here outside. We'll go to center, excuse me.
Sorry, I was distracted by the most frustrating song of all time playing right now.
Yeah, they keep saying the same word. I can't understand what
It's not even a real word.
Fiend is not a real word.
Nope.
It's not in the Webster Dictionary.
It'll be in the Urban Dictionary, but
That one counts, right?
asterisk. Black's got another opportunity. Okay, good. That one was going to be blatant if they didn't call it there.
Yeah, that's what, 5 offside calls on Team Black so far in this hockey game. Should have been 6.
Yeah. We can use our eyes and say it should have been 5, just a different 5.
Takes a goal off the scoreboard.
Yeah.
If you're a Team Green fan, you're probably asking for that one back, and if they lose by 1, you know what goal you're looking at.
And yet they're right on front for another one. Couple of quick dangles, but save made.
Say Garrett Michalski has been absolutely everywhere on the ice today for Team Black, including 3 of the first 4 goals came off of his stick. If they find a way to keep him on their roster full time, I think Black, they have to win this game first. But they're sneaky. They're a team that I could see making a late stretch to get into a higher seed in the playoffs.
Especially if they can get some more depth on their roster. Is basically the only thing they're lacking in this game. I think we can both agree that if Black had a full bench the size of Green's, this would be a different story going on right now.
Yeah, Leo Lasham, the big one out of the lineup. He's up at a U.S. camp right now, along with a couple other players from Team White. So they're all going to be hurting this week, but when they're back to full strength, a lot healthier and a lot better players to help out the team.
Green has a chance right out in the front, but Fry was there in the butterfly, just waiting for it. Cam Davis skips it around. He'll take a shot, and same exact save. 17:55 to go. It's a 1-goal game.
Yeah, you're seeing the offense die down, the defense pick up, kind of like the way we started this game. Maybe as you get more tired, the more goals start to trickle in,
Well, the last time I said defensive battle was when they just started scoring and scoring and scoring. So now that we said that,
they changed the line to 29.5 during the break, so all the bettors are kind of panicking.
Bell Sterling, a couple of saves. I think he just kicked that one up.
He did. You hear it right off the pad. Beautiful job there by Butterball.
Instincts alone on that one. Right to the side of the net. Back out in the front. A shot off the arm. Goalie's flashing some leather, flashing some... Not leather, I guess. That was just off the arm, but...
Still make the save.
Flashing some cloth. Flips back around. Lost by Black. Picked up by Nolan Snyder. He'll flip it up to Davis. Back to Snyder. He makes a nice move on the backhand shot. Saved into the chest of Fry.
Yeah, that's Snyder looking for his first game in the GOAT League. We talked about in the opener how he scored 34 goals with Penns Elite this year. It's a kid that's not afraid. Shoot the puck, and he can find the back of the line very well. But Pat's first guy with 96 points. You do the math. I'm not doing the math.
Dude, we're car majors. We don't do math.
Yeah, they have people that do that for us.
I just read the math they hand to me.
Exactly.
And let's Black going the other way. Knocked out of the zone. Brody Simcoe trying to get an opportunity. He's still chasing. Knocked down out of the air by Mahler. And now they do have a chance in the offensive zone. Green been playing defense basically this whole period. Still on the side. Shot saved. Another out in front. Who's going to pass up to Simcoe? He shoots and scores. Successful announcer's jinx, I guess you could call that one. But right over the right arm of Carson Fry. And Green's got double digits.
Hat-trick goal for Brody Simcoe. And a beautiful one. Emmett McLean, though, starts the play there, lifts the stick, and finds Simcoe up high with a lot of open space. The play all revolves around number 12 in Green.
And Green's, after that last goal, but also this one, I guess, scored more goals than they have the entire season combined so far.
Yeah, this is exactly what they needed.
Black's looking to bring the score back to 1. It's lost somewhere there. Puck was loose, but referee didn't see it.
Yeah, I think good no call there. The puck was loose under Butterball's pad. Referee's going to give the benefit of the doubt. Face off here to the right of Butterball.
Black wins the ensuing face off. In the air. Nabbed by Simcoe. He's going to launch it forward, but hits it too hard. Green's going to grab it behind the net. And save made. Honestly, could have had a pretty good opportunity if there was a bit more hustle around those 3 players there.
Yeah, I think that was more of a wait and see, let's bring everyone back kind of play. But ultimately, they just couldn't set up anything, and then a nice easy stop there for Carson Fry.
Nonetheless, you get an offensive zone face-off out of it. Simcoe is going to win it and battle it behind the net. Loses the puck. Carrying it back to center ice is Michalski. He'll lose it trying to make some dangles, but his team retains it. Flipping around, the goal, nothing happening with it. Snapped up by Walkoskis. He'll pass out in front. Green's going to take it. Flipped it ahead to Simcoe. Goalie's going to play it behind the net. Almost had an opportunity there. They would have seen it coming, but the pass out in front's blocked. And with speed the other direction comes Michalski. His shot's going to get saved.
Yeah, Michalski was a man on the mission there to try to find the back of the net and give his team a 1-goal deficit. But Butterball has had his number since the beginning of the game. It's been everyone else, literally, has put it in the back of the line except Michalski since about the first 10 minutes of this hockey game.
He'll try again off of this faceoff, but Simcoe's going to win it. Off to Davis, he'll pass to center ice. We'll go to Morehouse. Morehouse across to Flood. He'll lose it on a hit. Green's looking to escape now. Pass to Davis. Almost intercepted, but he makes a nice move to hold it out of the air. Hands it off to Simcoe. Diving defender means Simcoe can't do anything with it. He'll flip it backwards. Couple of moves. It goes back to Davis. Out of the point. Almost loses his balance. And a fade shot will give it back to Black. Johnny Flood had an opportunity, but he'll pass it back. Pass up to the side. And saved.
Yeah, pushed the net off, so they blow it dead. But a nice little opportunity there for Johnny Flood and Luke Walkoskis down low, 2 of the newcomers on Team Black. But Butterball, once again, that backdoor play. They've been trying it for the whole entire period pretty much and just haven't found an answer.
Yeah, he's been doing a good job of hugging that post to make sure nothing slips by him.
Yeah, it's after that Morehouse goal and then the second chance where it almost beat him, it's been almost second nature for Butterball.
They almost tried it again right there. And now floated through the air. Morehouse. Very high stick. And whistle is blown for the high stick.
Yeah, Green did a very good job of not touching the puck, but also kind of forcing Black into their own mistake there. And now they get an offensive zone draw out of it. That's just good hockey IQ from Team Green.
Yep. 11:40 to go in this game. Green wins the offensive zone faceoff. Cam Davis holding it behind the net. Flips it around to Blair. Morehouse will escape it with a dump. Yeah, it's getting chased down by Michalski. Tries to pass out in front. Nothing happening, but the rebound scores. Another one for Sawecki.
I think I've said this about 9 times today, but that's a hat-trick goal for Nick Sawecki. And honestly, that one I think we all were kind of a little confused by, and then Sawecki just has a bunch of open daylight, and now it's a 1-goal game.
And a chance to make it a tie game off the backhand, off the crossbar.
Yeah, I think Butterball got a piece of it too, and then it hits the netting, so they'll blow it dead. But man, what a chance for Black. Oh, high stick, excuse me. What a chance for Team Black there. He was like, oh, here they go. They go tie the game. And then Butterball, nope. Let me flash the leather a little bit here.
But No relaxing left. Just over 10 minutes to go in this game. Black's got another chance. That pass or shot's going to get blocked before anything can happen with it.
Well,
Now,
big
battle
hit.
against the boards. Someone just tried doing the old flip up in front. The Patrick Hornquist goal.
We're seeing a lot more aggression out of this Team Green squad trying to hold on to this lead.
Out in front of the net, an opportunity lost for Bell Sterling. Morehouse is going to wait for them to go onside. So, womp womp.
Yeah, that one there, near inches, I think, from being back on side. Just with 4 guys on the ice in full speed, it's so hard to time a play like that. When it's executed well, that is a goal 9 times out of 10 in this league.
Yeah.
The problem is you have to time it just right.
And Green's going to win that faceoff, so tries to go out, and the pass is going to hit off the man's stick, and Black will get it in their defensive end behind the net. Battling in the corner. Cam Davis had it for a second. Off to the other side. Retained by Green. Badly cycling around the point. Pass out in front. Shot's going to go wide. Jackson Morehouse ends up with the puck. Puts it forward as we hear his dad yell. Couple of moves. Backhand. Pass to the other side of the net. Can't do anything with it. Still cycling through as Morehouse just stands there waiting. Bunch of moves by the goalie, keeping it away. And now a pass out in front. Saved again. 8:30 left in this game. They're looking to tie it. Elsterling loses it. Green's got another chance. 2-on-0 opportunity after the nice pass. Taking a side, he shoots and scores. Cam Davis once again. It's 11-9 Green.
That is great awareness from the Green defense of Emmett McLean and Tyler Shaver to recognize that, you had 2 Green bodies coming up ice in Mahler and Davis. And bam, on the stick of Davis, fakes the pass, Fry bites, 2-goal lead for Green.
Davis looking for another opportunity for Simcoe. Couple of moves, he ends up going behind the net. Pass is going to get stolen, but held by Green as Emmett McLean. If he moves, another shot attempt. Saved.
It's another play in a row where the most noticeable player on the puck is Emmett McLean of Team Green. He hasn't put anything in the back of the net this season at all, but man, I don't know his assist number, but it got to be, at least in this game, 5 or 6.
Black wins the defensive zone faceoff. Clock passes 7:20. They got 2 goals to make up in that short time period. In this low-scoring second half, relatively speaking. But there's an breakaway opportunity. And into the glove. Nope, goal. Didn't see enough of a reaction to think that was a goal there, but
Emmett McLean acted so nonchalant when that hit the back of the net. And just as I said, pass first, Emmett McLean goes down the breakaway and scores 1-5-hole. 3-goal lead now for Team Green with under 7 to go.
maybe he doesn't score goals because he just doesn't like scoring them, because that reaction was like he got saved. There's a quick shot in front. It highway robbery by Butterball on the rebound off of the boards there.
I'm not sure how he got his skate over in time to get a piece of that.
I'm not sure his left leg's going to be attached when he gets off the ice.
I think he's okay with that. If you're going to get the win for your team after, losing the first 2 games 15-5 and 10-2, like if you have to go ice yourself after this game because your leg is falling off, like, props to you, dude.
Yeah.
Props to you.
I guess goalies tend to be more flexible than us up here.
Yeah, I don't think I can get anywhere close to a split, so, I'm not even going to try.
I used to try doing the old doorway goalie game, but just taking shots on yourself with the mini sticks.
Yeah, the fun times for sure. The mini sticks are always I'd like to see mini sticks on ice.
Could never be an actual goalie, though, seeing as I can't even be an NHL 25 goalie, so. Breakaway opportunity. Puck gets a lot back to the point. Ahead to Petrov. Green's going to nab it back. Blair started it, flips it up to Jake Stock. Stock finds Simcoe over to the side, a shot saved. And Black's got an odd man rush now. Slow and steady. And he scores. Nick Sawecki. A little bit of chaos out in front there, but Black crosses the 10 marker. And with 5 minutes left, it's a 2-goal game.
Yeah, Black, I don't know when it's going to happen, but they're going to have to use their timeout here soon.
Yeah.
There's 6 players on the ice. 2 are obviously stuck at any given change. And you could just see the legs are starting to wear out.
And not the same for Green, as there's a quick breakaway. Tried doing the old Kucherov move, but couldn't quite pull it off. And now Black's a bit of a slower breakaway the other direction. That shot's going to go wide. Funnels around the boards for a bit. Another opportunity, that's going to go sky high.
Yeah, we're approaching time here now as we hit 4:15. I believe at 3 minutes. If the score stands as is, we will get stop clock. So that's more time for Team Black to rest up. And then eventually that's where I think the timeout will come into play here.
Do you think you pull the goalie with this small crew?
Maybe towards a minute mark if it's a 1-goal game.
Well, Green's doing their best on this other end to make sure that doesn't happen, but their tic-tac-toe play goes awry. Behind the net looking for someone. Davis. Out in front to Emmett. Back to Davis. He scores. Extends that lead to 3. And Davis is... How many goals is that on the day? I can't count that high.
I think that's 5. Yeah, 5 goals for Cam Davis. I was going to say, there's 2 things Green need to do there. 1, score. 2, kill as much time as humanly possible in the offensive zone. They go with the first option, and both were good options. But 3-goal lead, I think the stop clock is still in play here. And what they did right there, not getting the puck to the referee, is textbook kill the clock by Team 3.
That's good. The old reverse Chase Claypool.
Yes.
And Black is seeing that they need to start moving faster. Morehouse with some oomph behind it, but saved. Or out of play. Yep, saved.
And there's the stop clock as well now. So Team Black gets a little bit more of a rest here. But also Green gets the best of 4 guys they want on the ice to hold on to the 3-goal lead.
Morehouse holds it on the board. Pass out in front. Tipped wide. And the net lost by Machowski, but he'll get it back as Morehouse ricochets it. Pass out in front to Morehouse. Wide again. And Cam Davis has it. He's moving very slowly. As they try to escape the zone and kind of play some games in center ice. 2:35 remaining. Green finally enters the offensive zone. Pass across in front to Davis. Backwards. That shot saved. Or I think the shot was wide, but same result, same score. Cam Davis back again. Another pass and it's a great back with him. His shot saved and frozen.
Down to 2:15. Green in the offensive zone draw done a very good job killing off about 30-ish seconds there in the offensive zone, just playing around with it. Your Team Black, answer is full send, timeout.
There's that breakaway opportunity. Gets turned away as Green nabs it. Nolan Snyder flips it forward for McLean. He takes a shot, but it's blocked wide. Picked up by Mahler. Back to McLean. On the other end, now Black looks to have an opportunity, but they couldn't race for that puck. Fatigue looks to be setting in. Now they have an opportunity in the offensive zone. Well, Sterling's going to go around, tries to leave it for somebody, but nobody's there to take the shot. And Green gets it back, 1:30 remaining. Dumping it forward. Nolan Snyder on the empty net, he scores. And with that, the running clock will stop, right?
I think running clock is over now with the empty netter, and Nolan Snyder gets his first career goal. So all ends well there for Team Green. As now Carson Fry returns to the net.
Very sadly.
Yes. We've seen comebacks larger in lesser time. But he seemingly needs a miracle here for Team Black.
1 minute remaining in this game. As Black has an opportunity, unless it's rolled icing, which it's not, And they tried the Mips again. Not the time, I think, but pass out in front, saved again.
Can you imagine if he pulled that off, though?
That'd be like the most. What's the meme?
The Chris Paul cuts the deficit meme?
Yeah. As Green's just kind of playing some games, a couple of fan shots there. Cam Davis looks out in front. I think Green was going to let up until that happened.
Yeah, I think at that point they're kind of comfortable, and they're like, all right, let's try to make this 15 now.
Yeah. Tipped away, 15 seconds remaining. And Davis has got a shot past the side. And a windmill save. And with that, clock's going to run through. That's the end of your game. Team Green upsets Team Black 14-10. They hit the under and the over if you think about it. But
yeah, I mean, depends on which line you picked and when, but 24 total goals scored today. Green outshoots Black 42-37, and a large part of it, Landon Butterbaugh, phenomenal at his end of the crease. Carson Fry just got peppered at times. Cam Davis would return with 5 goals, and Green really needed this win.
Yeah. And it bodes well for the rest of their season. You know, got a couple guys back. You don't even have your full roster either, so maybe these first 2 games was a bit of a slide. But with that, we'll take a bit of a break before the second game. There is more games. This is the worst song to play at this time, if you ask me.
You could see at the bottom of your screen. I'm pointing, but you know where to look. Look at the bottom of the screen. You can see when the next game starts.
Yeah. So I hope you did have the time of your life, but no good riddance. We got 2 more games here.
Game number 2 between Team White and Team Red. A little confusion here in the warm-ups as Team Red has 2 goalies. There's Dylan Bork. Just as the, we get ready to go, Dylan Bork decides to make his appearance. But 2 goalies on Red's side. One of them is Charlie Mistretta. The other one, we aren't sure.
Return of mystery goalie.
For the second week in a row when me and you call a game, there is a mystery goaltender.
The assumption on my end is Mistretta will not be able to play the whole game, so they needed someone to come in to back him up. But you never know.
Yeah, we never know how this works because they love to mess rosters up when we.
Yeah.
At least they try their best. We at least got most of the subs in earlier today to prepare ourselves.
Yeah.
But goaltender, sometimes, things happen. Could be a guy that was just waiting around, we're going to put you in net today. And he's, all right. And then here we go. But Team Red and Team White, both teams sitting with a lower record, 1-1 for Team White after a brutal loss to Team Teal. They come up with a nice win against Green last week, or 2 weeks ago, I should say. But Team Red, the runner-up, they've had a really rough start here at 0-2 as we get a mystery player on the ice, of course.
Yes. Just to get it home that both teams now have players we have no idea who they are.
Oh, boy. So we'll see if we can figure it out. We know one is Elliot Belly, who made his debut 2 weeks ago, the St. Vincent College Division III player. He's back. We can tell by the pants, who that is. After we asked 2 weeks ago, who is this? And they're like, oh, yeah, there you go. Oh, sweet. I know who that is. But yeah, there's another guy on there. We just have absolutely zero clue. He's a Penn State jersey. That doesn't help us either.
So Mistretta's not starting this game.
Interesting. All right, red and white. Here we go. Let me make this a little interesting, shall we? Puck is down, and Red gets possession off the faceoff. Will Tomko will drive it up ice. Did not get drafted in the NHL draft, but will be a Hawk Maudie next draft cycle. Congrats, though, to LJ Mooney, former GOAT alum, going 4th overall to the Montreal Canadiens. So, yeah, that's 4 years in a row of a GOAT player being drafted. We'll see if that trend continues in 2026.
That'll be fun.
Yes. Luke Malbouf in retreat, followed by Brody George. That, I think, is the name to watch in next year's draft right there, number 12 in whites. Brought up now by Christian Humphreys, the 2024 alum of the NHL draft. Gets that tripped away by Brody George. And goes down the right wall. George was backhand, puts one on. The save made by the mystery netminder. It's not even like he has the same jersey. He's wearing a black jersey.
Yeah. And Black already played, so.
And we know it's not Carson Fry. I mean, I don't believe it's Carson Fry. Christian Humphreys, stretch pass, puts one wide of the net. Humphreys, surrounded by Mark Evans, moves this up to Brody George down the left wall. George puts one towards the slot, no one home as a piece of debris on the ice toward the FedEx logo.
Trying to figure out what that is.
Yeah.
I couldn't.
Tomko, stretch pass over to Kozlina, just couldn't pull the trigger. In front for Tomko, that one hits off the iron, plus the shoulder of Dylan Bork. As behind the net, the mystery man wearing a number 14 with S-mark pants. That doesn't really help us much. I can figure out the team and a number. Now to Elite Prospects we go. Mark Evans works behind the net. Plays this one off the wall, looking for Anthony Slowicki. Winds up a shot, and he scores. Anthony Slowicki, through a ton of traffic, gives White the lead 1-0.
An absolute bullet there. Shot from the point, probably one of the furthest goals we've seen in the GOAT League, because not a lot of slap shots taken from the point.
Yeah. I'm not sure how Mr. Netminder, who that may be down there, doesn't see it, but it remains a mystery, but there's a goal on the scoreboard in favor of Team White. Brody George wins the faceoff, and White takes possession. Elliot Belly works his way up the left wall. Belly to his backhand, tries to go forehand, knocked off by Noah Smith. Up to Brody George. George takes this behind the net, looking for some space. Goes into the slot, drops it off. Has a man in Bodie Wise, lines up shot, and a glove save is made. Covered up here, 20-30 in period 1.
I'm still looking.
It's okay. We'll figure it out. It's either you figure it out first, or our man Jeff down here figures it out. Where he just starts yelling, "Who are you?" and eventually, it makes its way up to here. Tied up off the face-off. Red plays this along the wall. It's a 3-on-1. Stretch pass across to Kozlina does not go from Jack Rosensteel. And now Red battling. Kozlina brings it up high, finds the stick of Mario Smith. Cross now to Rosensteel in tight corner. Off to Kozlina, and Red has to exit. Rosensteel, the recent Princeton University commit, tries to walk in the zone, stripped away by Zach Goldfein, and a partial breakaway. Drop pass for Evans, and he goes upstairs. Mark Evans is third of the GOAT season, makes it 2-0 Team White.
A great move there, getting around the mystery goaltender and not having a great start so far, but anything can change the drop of a hat, especially in this league.
Yeah, we've seen it time and time again, and Red has been at the forefront in both areas of coming back or giving up a lead. As they search for win number 1 on the season, Christian Humphreys leading the rush with his Kitchener partner Avery Anstis. As he elected to wait, gives it down low to J.C. Humphreys. Anstis followed. Humphreys tries to stretch it down to Christian, and taken away by our mystery S-Mark player. J.C. Humphreys couldn't strip it away. White can clear the zone as Malbouf waits in retreat. Malbouf off the wall to Christian Humphreys. Humphreys into the zone, has Anstis with him. Along with JC, elects to go to JC. Works his way down low, over for Anstis. Hits through a couple of sticks, ends up to Christian Humphreys. One-time chance for JC does not go. Malbouf dancing in the far corner. Gives it off to Anstis. And cleared by Team White, and a 2-on-0 led by Evans to the backhand, and a pad save. The rebound was there and will be cleared by the Red netminder. Wise out wide to Evans, on sides is Team White. Wise plays it along the wall to Evans. Up high and sent quickly back low by Elliot Belly. Dancing down those Alex Ondos. Works up high to Belly, winds up shot into the breadbasket and covered up by Team Red. $17:30 here in period 1, or half 1, I should say. As Brody George's unit hops onto the ice. George against Humphreys. Humphreys wins the draw for a foot race, and Red can't clear off of Rosensteel. Rosensteel does get it back, though, at his own blue line. Leads the rush in for Team Red. Off for Christian Humphreys. Over to Rosensteel, one-timer shot, and a save by Bork. Tomko leaves it off for Christian Humphreys. Taken away by Team White. Zach Goldfein will sit behind his own net, and Dylan Bork making sure Tomko doesn't get in the lane. Brody George up for Elliot Belly. Has a little bit of trouble with it. Quickly plays it around the wall to George. George retreats back one more time as Tomko and Kozlina all over the Team White defense. Back for Rosensteel to Humphreys. Down low to Tomko. Waiting up high to Humphreys one more time as Red resets. Humphreys waiting. Draws the attention of 3 of the Team White players. And eventually Bork will cover up. Just nowhere to move here for the Red offense.
Yeah, they've been kind of stuck. Going into this game, I saw them as kind of the favorites despite the lower record. But that week 1 loss to Black that was really close to 14-10. And then the loss 2 weeks ago to Teal 11-5 was very similar to White's loss to Teal, which was 10-5. So I kind of expected Red to come out a little stronger.
Yeah, one-timer there by Humphreys in response, and it's 2-1.
I think he has me in his ear. He heard me talking bad.
Christian Humphreys is one to respond under the adversity and give Red their first goal of the game, his 3rd of the GO campaign. And Red likes to move quick. A face-off win, Tomko takes this to center. Out wide to Humphreys. Humphreys looks for Tomko on the back end, and that one goes off the side of the net after the initial save by Dylan Bork. Waiting at the blue line. The give to Humphreys. Pulls out Bork, tries to sneak it in, and a beautiful job there to cover that post, and now here comes Team White the other way. Goldfein looking for Sawicki, blocked away by Kozlina. These for Tomko, can clear up the wall to Christian Humphreys, and it's a 3, make it 4-on-1. Humphreys across, save by Bork, and somehow keeps it out on Rosensteel. And it could have been a Team White breakaway the other way, but they whistle it dead.
Yeah, an unfortunate break for White. I'm trying to get a good look at the helmet of our mystery player in white. I have an idea, but I don't want to say it if I'm not right.
You said it, I think, what, Dallas Junior Stars, I think is.
That's what.
It looks like the tape as well on the ankles. It looks green and white.
Yeah.
Maybe another closer idea here. As he almost gets lit off there by Will Tomko. Out comes the netline to leave it to Christian Humphreys. Around for Will Tomko. Banks this one off the wall. White settling at center. Ondos retreats back to Evans. Evans works through the middle. Now to the outside. Has one more to beat. Dangles to the backhand. Pushes one wide of the net. We saw Brody Simcoe's highlight reel goal last game. White trying to do one of their own. Backdoor play. And a glove save on Mark Evans.
I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt that this is our player that I found.
Okay. Played for
Gotta wait
Esmark
for the-
and plays for Dallas.
Yes. Plays for Dallas 18U, played for Esmark 16U as I wait for the webpage to load.
We'll find out next whistle break.
Yes.
We're going to make it a
Stay on the edge of
mystery.
your seat.
He's not on the ice right now, so it's okay. we can wait the minute or however long. Here's Malbouf on the rush. Out wide to Avery Anstis. Anstis retreats to the top of the right circle. Sends this one down. A broken stick by Elliott Belly. I don't think St. Vincent pays for their stick, so hopefully he has the warranty on that one. The CHE Division III champion. I don't think there's a check that they get part of if you win the College Hockey East. Evans, drop pass to Ondos. Down low for Wise, pulls out the goaltender, and a beautiful pad save. Man, I wish I knew who he was so he could get some credit. Just like last week with Purple. Malbouf in front, finds Avery Anstis, and it's a tie game 2-2.
Great defensive play and goaltending to the left of us results in a good offensive zone pressure there from Red. They get the goal they need. They tie this game up. Just as I was saying, they looked slow. They pick it up, and now they're tied this game.
Anstis, his second goal of the GOAT campaign, scored his first in his first contest. As almost the entirety of the lineup has registered a goal except for one player, Mario Smith. Brody George with some steam, works down the left wall, retreat behind the net. Looking in front for Goldfein. Finds now Anthony Sawicki. Sent down by Evans. Malbouf picks it up for Red. Sawicki had a hat trick in his game 2 weekends ago. Stretch pass. Smith momentarily kept it alive. Now here comes Evans the other way. Evans across, finds the backdoor chance, and Zach Goldfein gives White back the lead 3-2.
Beautiful pass across the net. Goldfein with a nice rip, too. Able to bury that one and give White the lead back that they just lost. So good bounce back by them.
Brody George did just head off to the dressing room. Maybe equipment issue, or maybe he's only able to stay for a little bit. We'll find out, but without their top player is Team White at the moment. They do have a 3-2 lead. A broken up play. Here comes Team White. Goldfein winds up a shot, and a save made. Goldfein plays it underneath. Up high, this one goes to Sawicki, winds up, and that one will bounce off the wall. Goldfein walks it to the blue line and will have to retreat his way out. Sends it forward to our mystery player. Over to Sawicki, could not connect the pass, and now Malbouf airmails to Humphreys. It's a 3-on-1. Christian Humphreys waiting, elects the shot. Bork gets a piece of it. Sent down low by Malbouf. Over to Christian Humphreys, looking to set something up. Finds JC. Works his way to the slot. Pulls it back to Christian. Christian tries to spin and find his brother down low, and Goldfein intercepts. and will clear for Team White. Humphreys picks it off. Christian to JC, bounces off the forehand, and Goldthane resets for White. Over now to Elliot Belly. Fresh stick. Belly cross crease to Sawicki and finds the back door. Anthony Sawicki. 4-2, Team White.
Yeah, great tic-tac-toe and toe again. 4 assists on that if they were allowed, as every single member of White touched that puck before it made its way in the back of the net, as they were passing in rhythm right there.
Red trying to find an answer once again. The Humphrey brothers down the offensive zone, stripped away by Mark Evans. Humphreys regains possession, tries to feed backdoor to Tomko, and now a 2-on-1. Evans out wide to Bodie Wise, back up high, a shot by Evans, high over the net. Ondos settles this in his defensive zone, feels the pressure. Ondos with some space through the middle. Looks for Evans. Goes for the shot. Initial save is made. Cleared up to Christian Humphreys. Across center and into the Team White zone. Humphreys in front for JC. And Team White will quickly just play this along the wall. Christian intercepts over to JC to Tomko. Back to JC. And kept out by Dylan Bork. Not sure if he pulled the trigger or not, but somehow it stays out, and White can push this one to center ice. Leading the rush is Jack Rosensteel. Works to the backhand, tries the forehand, and no one home to clean it up. JC elects the shot, glove saved by Bork. Rebound taken by Tomko. Dangles beneath the net, in front for Rosensteel. Battled away by Goldthane. Humphreys gives to the brother. That shot goes wide by Christian, and Tomko has to reset. Brody George quickly steps onto the ice as they'll try to change bodies as quickly as they can here. They only have 3, now 4 on the ice. Ondos takes it to his own blue line, now to center, and now White has bodies up ice. A shot there by Sawicki, looking for the HT. Turning the other way comes Shane Kozlina. Across for Rosensteel, banks on off post. Rebound for Humphreys. And bar down, but stays out. Scorekeepers think it's a goal. Referee waved no.
Yeah, no goal in the play. First shot off the crossbar. Second shot goes off the post and then into the back of Bork. So getting lucky a couple times there with Bork.
Yeah, definitely a lucky chance in favor of Team White. Because I had around Sawicki not have the hat trick. It was Ackland. A lot of newcomers that had their first goals, but he's looking for his first HT here today. Is number 5 for Team White. And we got a penalty, I believe, here for a hook. So I think this is going to send Team Red to the power play, as the aforementioned Anthony Sawicki might be the guilty party here. Looks like
it. As we finally have a break with him on the ice.
Okay.
To tell you our mystery player, to my knowledge, will be Nathan Alexander. Played with Esmark, 16U last year, playing with the Dallas Elite 18U this upcoming season.
Beautiful. That is awesome to hear. We have a face to name possibly.
Possibly.
I'm sorry if you're not Nathan Alexander. But Red with a power play here. Sawicki 2-4 hooking. It'll be Mario Smith. Gives this one off to Avery Anstis. Across for Christian Humphreys. Trying to draw the attention to him. Back to Anstis. Bangs this off the roll to Kozlina. Over to Mario Smith. Back down low to Humphreys. Inching his way close to the net. Elects the shot. Kozlina there to pick it up. Kozlina. Fake the drop pass. Alexander all over him. Over to Humphreys. Walks in. A shot. Initial save is made. Rebound is there. And Bork battles that one away with a pad. Evans tries to ricochet this one around the horn, and this one will go all the way to center ice, and Team White can at least get Brody George onto the ice. And this. Over for Kozlina. George sticks it away, and Team Red has to retreat. Team White with one more fresh penalty killer. Kozlina walks his way into the forehand, and he scores. Shane Kozlina, power play goal, cuts the deficit to 4-3.
All that zone pressure from Red. White able to get 2 people off, but the last line of defense to get through for Kozlina was the one man who hadn't changed yet. So he was tired, walks around him, and he just gets one through.
Now Sawicki asking if he can leave the penalty box. He can. I mean, it's just going to go down to zeros anyway. Or I think he was trying to buy time. I don't know what exactly was going on down there.
Looked like we have a ref that wasn't here the past 2 weeks, maybe misunderstanding the rules. I do believe he has to stay in.
Does? Maybe.
I don't know, because our 2 scorekeepers were saying no for him getting out.
And then regardless, I mean, for Team White, they're going to take every break they can there, and eventually, no matter what, he was out of the box.
Yeah. It does look like our operator of the scoreboard is explaining something to the refs.
We'll find out next penalty. This is a very rare occurrence to get a penalty. I think it's 1 per week, maybe, that we see.
And then the next game we're going to get 6, just because you said it.
Probably. I mean, there's
that's
one
what
game that had, 100-some penalty minutes in a 2-second span, including suspensions from the Department of Player Safety that
didn't serve the suspensions?
Yeah, I mean, Nolan served his half game. I don't know about, Mauser just hasn't been here the 2 past 3 weeks. I mean, one of them counts, I guess.
Well, one was suspended the first game and still played.
I think it was any game during the 2025 season, That's how I read it. Here's White walking in Ondos, and a quick save is made. So technically, I mean, one of the last 2 weeks counts for Colton Mauser.
All right.
Hopefully the DPOS doesn't have to work any harder.
Yeah.
They were created to do that, and I think they're done now. I mean, I hope so.
Yeah. We don't even understand the rules up here.
We just kind of go as they go. Team Red defensive zone face-off win. Malboof and J.C. Humphreys catch up ice. Off to Tomko. To J.C. in front, looking for Malboof. Stretches just wide. Noah Smith. Down to J.C. Humphreys. Circles his way up high. Finds William Tomko. Tomko blocked away by George. Second chance to Humphreys off the post. Rebound is there and kept out by Team White. 2 chances in this first period. Oh, so close for Team Red. Ondos leads the rush. Off to Bodie Wise. Dangles his way in. Pulls the netminder out. No one to go to as the netminder resets. Wise cross ice finds George. Brody George winds up a shot, and a glove save made here at 1:37 as we see Charlie Mistretta start to get warmed up on the Team Red bench.
Could be looking at a split game here. Wish we knew who the first guy was.
Yes.
But it does look like Mistretta's going to jump in for this second period.
And for the first time in seemingly forever, when me and you have been on a call, we know every player on the ice. We think.
Hopefully.
1:15 to go. Team White with a 4-3 lead on Team Red. Here's Tomko. Walks into the backhand. Mark Evans gets a piece of it to negate the chance. Brody George strips it away. George down the right wall, tries to dangle his way in as he gets pushed away by Rosensteel, covered up there by Red.
Despite being down, this is kind of the game that Red liked to play last year. The tight, close games with not a lot of scoring. They were a very defensive team last year.
Quick shot by Sawicki is denied, and now here comes Red on a 3-on-1. Humphreys, the Tomko pass just behind him. Down to the final 23 seconds. Mark Evans wants one more chance for White. Hit shot, shoulder save. Evans to Sawicki's shot blocked away. Down to the final 10 seconds of the frame. Humphreys down the right wall, looking for someone to go to. Finds Rosensteel, and poke checked away by Bork. The final three, Rosensteel will just hold. At the end of the first half, Team White leads 4-3 over Team Red. We'll be back for the second half just after this. Second half is a go here from the UPMC Lemieux Sports Complex in Cranberry, Pennsylvania. Team Red down to Team White 4-3. Goaltending change for Team Red as Charlie Mistretta has made his way into the crease, has started both games for the Red squad, but is unable to pick up a victory at 0-2 with a 12.5 goals against average. Dylan Bork on the other end, 1-1, with the best goals against average in terms of starting goaltenders with a 6 goals against. Humphreys looking to change that, goes down and scores a breakaway beauty to tie this game at 4.
A good start for Red. They're going to tie this game. A lot of momentum needed if they want to, carry this one. Quick start. I wasn't ready for this.
Yeah. And we've seen this time and time again, though, from Team Red. Off the intermission, them coming out full speed, quick goals. As Red is going to full send this one to Jack Rosensteel. We see Evan Conning, the Team Purple captain, doing his due diligence of scouting. Here as his team arrives for the next contest for his Team Teal. He picked up by Nathan Alexander. Up for Mark Evans. Over to Goldfane. Goldfane walks into the backhand, but Shredda makes the initial stop. With some help there from Mario Smith. A 2-on-0 breakaway. Sawicki tries to get back. Humphreys walks in, shot, and off the shoulder and glove of Bork and into the back of the net. Hat trick, Christian Humphreys. Red gets their first lead of the game.
Unfortunate there for Bork as he had that one the whole way and just takes a bad bounce off his glove, shoulder, all of the above, and just makes its way in. Good defensive effort by White to try and cut that from a 2-on-0 to 2-on-1, but Humphreys took the shot instead of the pass.
One of the most dangerous shooters in the Go 4v4 League strikes again. He's probably really feeling himself after also the Ice Castle 3-on-3 league he plays in. Humphreys and Smith there, going fancy, but Smith couldn't pull the shot off. Rosensteel winds up that one off the breadbasket of Bork. As Team White trying to settle the pace here. The dump all the way down ice looking for Brody George. Icing is waved off. George in front for Evans, a shot high over the net. Red quickly clears. They get from Smith to Humphreys. Down looking for Rosensteel. Bork comes out of his net to challenge and makes the save.
This has been quite a different game than the first game we saw. Not just on the goals front, but also the shots. I believe it was almost 30 shots apiece coming into that second half.
Yep.
And we're closing in on 15 each, and we're already partway into the second.
But these two teams, you see a lot more defense and a lot stronger goaltending. Here's Team White looking to get back into a tied game. Streaking down is Elliot Belly. Finds Brody George. Works his way back to Bodie Wise. Walks the blue line. Spitting beautifully from Tomko. Down to George. Lets that go beneath the net as Avery Anstis settles. Gives this one off. And now up comes Tomko. Tomko puts one on. And that one negated by Bork. Malbouf dances beneath the net. Gets challenged by George. Underneath to Anstis. Anstis pushed off by Belly. And now taken up ice by Alex Ondos. Quickly over to Brody George. 3-on-2 for White. George to Ondos. Back to George. And that one out of his reach. George for Ondos. Gets a stick on it. Negated by Mistretta. Ondos walks this one over. Belly underneath to George. Spins away from one. Pushes it along the wall against Malbouf. Down comes Bodie Wise to keep it in. Wise in front. Stick in front by Belly. And covered up by Mistretta.
White putting a lot of pressure on this, seeming to get their game back after a quick start from Red. Seeming to lower the pace a bit, back to what they want. Just can't find the one to go in.
Shots favoring Team White 15-13 here at the 18:45 mark. This faceoff will go in favor of Team White. Ondos tries to go across, and this one will go and bounce in favor of Team Red. As offsides is called as Anstis was streaking down the right wall. Down to the final 18 here in this second half. Malbouf gives it off to Tomko. Tomko with some speed works his way to the outside. Tomko gets taken underneath. Cross with Malbouf, gives this one off to Anstis. Challenged by Alexander. Underneath one more time to JC. Anstis picks it up. Works this one up high. Anstis. Underneath for Tomko. In front for Malbouf. And taking the goaltender and the commentators off guard there for a second. And into the back of the net. It's 6-4 Red.
A little bit of a sneaky ninja right there was Malbouf, just sneaking right back to that back door. No one saw him coming except the pass. Saw him right there, and he was in perfect position. No one in his way.
Executed perfectly by Red. That unit of JC, Humphreys, Avery Anstis. And then eventually the goal scorer there, Luke Malbouf. JC Humphrey stays on the ice. Dangles his way in to the forehand and gets pushed off the puck there by Team White. Quick shot from up high as Kozlina gets roughed up by Goldfein.
Just under 17 to go in the second half. White seemingly lost their way again, but seeing if they can bounce back against this Red team that has been known for comebacks in the last couple years.
Team Red, the only team without a win in the Goat 44 League at the moment. As we'll see in our next contest, one team will get their first loss of the season between Team Teal and Team Purple that got flexed into that 750 spot. We don't know if it's because of personnel showing up or because that the DPOS and Commissioner's crew thought it would be better to have it as a late game. Team White will hold underneath the net here as Goldfein. Banks this one off the net, gives it off to Evans. Gets pressured by Tomko and it gets forced out of the zone. Evans holds the blue line. Splits this one forward, looking for a man. He'll get it back. Evans waiting. A shot saved by Mistretta. Rebound is there. Goldfein in the wall battling. Gets taken down. Gives it off to Sawicki. Sawicki in front, trying to find Alexander. Noah Smith pressures for Red. Smith banks it off the wall. Has Tomko. 3-on-1 for Red. Tomko to JC Humphreys to the backhand, and a kick save by Dylan Bork. Humphreys looks for Kozlina. He'll be spun out by Sawicki, and Team Red will reset in their defensive zone. Rosensteel finds Smith up for Humphreys. Christian Humphreys with some room. Attempts glove side. Bork is forced to hold.
Red doing a great job of getting the right shots. Both teams are, but Red doing a slightly better job.
Second half heroics from Team Red here. With
Not a new thing.
Yeah, 3 early goals from Humphreys again, and then finally the one from Luke Malbouf. Brody George gets one over to Pody Wise, and Mistretta doesn't bite and covers up here at 14-40. Seems like we're more in a chess match now between these two.
Yeah. Another thing to note, Charlie Mistretta is rocking a goose egg right now.
Oh, don't say that.
Uh-huh.
Don't say that. There's never been one in the Go 44 League, and this one obviously would not count because it's only half a game, but still. Pretty cool to see. There's been halves before, I believe.
Yeah.
They maybe only happened once or twice. Kozlina off for Rosensteel, bar down, and that one's going to count. Jack Rosensteel gives his team a 3-goal lead.
Red saw Green take the win last game and said we don't want to be last place. So they're definitely picking up the pace. Solid result during intermission is my prediction, and that's why they've come out a lot stronger in the second half. They don't want to be last.
The goals for would favor Red, if that's how the standings do work at the end of the day. And, of course, there has not been the head-to-head. That is later in the season. After this week, only 3 more regular season games, and then the playoffs commence just after that. Here's Christian Humphreys. Dancing along the wall, makes Wise miss on the first move. He's still holding on to it. Down low here for Rosensteel. Walks this one to the blue line. Rosensteel looking, elects the shot. Bork challenges for the stop. Makes its way behind the net as we see 5 bodies in digging for that puck. Out with it comes Bodie Wise. Wise looking down ice, had Ondos, and Mistretta will come out to play. Ondos knocks that one down. Looking underneath for George, has him. George one-on-one, goes 5-hole, and White gets their first goal of the second half to cut the deficit to 7-5.
Great play there by Ondos. Able to predict where Mistretta was sending that one, and able to knock it down to set up George for basically a breakaway from the corner.
And Brody George, I don't think will miss chances like that very often. No matter the goaltender, and Mistretta's shutout streak comes to an end about 10 minutes through the start of his appearance. Red looks to respond. It's Mario Smith up ice for Humphreys. All 4 Red bodies in the offensive zone. Humphreys a shot. Glove saved by Bork. And quickly cleared. Now Ondos a breakaway the other way. Ondos waiting. Has some bodies in relief. Elects the shot. Pad save. Rebound is there. And Mistretta stretches to keep that one out and keep us a 2-goal deficit for the opposing squad.
Alexander's eyes probably went as big as planets on that one. But Mistretta shut him down just as quickly as they went big.
Down to 11:30. In this tight battle between White and Red. A chance off the faceoff is picked up by Ondos, and it is waved off as the net comes off its moorings.
They're counted as a goal.
They are?
Just pointed to it.
Talking about it as they point back to the net. And it looks like this is not going to count again. So it was no goal, goal. Now we're back at no goal. As this is not benefiting White, as we've seen about 30 seconds tick off the clock.
There will be a goal. The far ref comes in to confirm it.
I think this is a very good goal.
Yeah.
So Ondos will get credit. His third of the GOAT season, and it is 7-6. I know we don't have replay review, but from our standard, I think that puck was in as the net came off, so I think you give the benefit of the doubt to the player here. Humphreys to Tomko, back to Humphreys, and that one goes through his skates. Humphreys picks it up once more. Will wait. Flips it, or attempts to flip it over the net, does not. Retreats back to Avery Anstis. Anstis plays it off the boot of Goldfane, looking for his partner. And Goldfane plays it cross ice to Sawicki. Lines up shot, pad save Mistretta. Bounces a red way. Malbouf to Tomko. Tomko back to Malbouf, bounces off his boot, and White retreats behind their own net. Anstis gets caught up, gives it to Tomko, back to Anstis, and puts one into the back of the net. As a controversial goal as White won of the penalty, but Avery Anstis on the board for the second time today. It's 8-6.
Yeah, Bork wanted a trip on that one. I think he got in his own head because he was not ready to face two more shots after that, after he was upset about the goal call. The no trip call, I should say.
That one, I think it was just more crossing path contact. I don't think it was initiated for a trip. I could see if the referee would have called it there, but I think a good no call. Both teams are going to get away with one. That's just negates both right there. Saves a 2-goal game. I think it works better that way. Here comes Team White. Evans across. That one gets stuck in the blocker of Mistretta and will be held on to here at just under 9 to go.
Couple people digging on that one. Thought it might have been loose sitting behind him, but ended up covering as we got two red very far stretched out here.
Humphreys loves this play. If they could win the faceoff, that is, they could stretch him free. White will send this one around the horn looking for Evans. Evans digging. Malbouf comes out with it for red. Quickly sends this one up ice. Fast Christian Humphreys. 2-on-1 with Tomko. Humphreys look for Tomko. Bodie Wise gets in the lane. Tomko to JC, elects the shot. That one bounces over the net. Along the FedEx logo, retreats back to the point, does the puck. Humphreys spins from one, gets pushed out by Evans as Red has to touch up on sides. Christian to JC on the entry. Gets stripped by Evans and Wise. White can't clear. Malbouf in front for JC Humphreys, gets off a White stick. Now up to Anthony Sawicki at center ice. Sawicki has two friends with him, elects the shot pass, and that one goes around the horn. Kept in momentarily by Team White, and now Red escapes with it. Tomko doesn't elect the challenge. Wise feels the pressure now. Plays it over to Sawicki. Off the boards, looking for Belly. Challenged by Kozlina. Gets some help there in Wise. Wise leads the rush. Elects the shot. Glove save by Mistretta. Pulling this one back as Evans has to go all the way to center ice with this one. Evans goes all the way back to Ondos. Up to Brody George. Sends it off the boards. Ondos, 3-on-1 for White. Ondos across for Goldfane and goes upstairs. Pops the water bottle and makes it 8-7.
Just another back and forth goal for White. Another a nice tic-tac-toe on that one. Able to slide that one across, and a great shot too. Mistretta did a great job getting over to cover for that pass. Just couldn't cover his corners.
It is a 1-goal game here on the 6-minute mark to go. Goldfane, 2 goals on the night for Team White. Rosensteel tried underneath as White will carry this one. Ondos drops it off for Brody George. Banks it underneath for Ondos. In front for George. Net comes off its moorings, and we'll get a whistle here.
Another opportunity squandered by that net coming off for White. First one, they get the benefit of the doubt and it goes in. Did look like the refs gave them a little bit to see if they were going to score on it. But eventually, once it was out of a prime scoring opportunity, they blew it dead.
They maintain possession, though, in the offensive zone. The face-off win. Goldfein off the give of Evans. Goes back to Evans now. Evans a lot of room to work with. Down low, Ondos by himself and roofs that one over Mistretta, and we are all tied up at 8.
Another one picking the corner there for Ondos. Great job picking that corner in close. Both him and Goldfein now pick that top left corner back-to-back goals now.
All knotted up at 8. Humphreys, the Rosensteel looks for Humphreys in front. Goes through his stick, under 5 to go. Goldfein, drop past George. George comes for the shot. Mistretta challenges and makes the save. 4:30 to go.
Another good opportunity on the rush for White. Almost look for a pass there as Mistretta was so far out. Goldfein was basically behind him.
Red face-off win. Kozlina settles. Has Rosensteel in stride down the right wall. Dances around George, puts one towards the net. Bork makes the initial stop. George out for Goldfein. Almost had a breakaway. That pass into his skates. Goldfein harassed by Kozlina. Now Rosensteel. Alexander picks it up for Team White. Gets his pocket picked by Rosensteel, and now Team Red brings all 4 skaters up. Ice Humphreys. Ooh, that one I think Red got away with just barely with Humphreys trying to hold. Rosensteel walks in a shot, and Bork covers up for the save. 3:30 to go.
Benefit of the doubt whistle there was in him for a while. It drops down to his legs. Whistle gets blown. As you were saying, definitely Humphreys did not stay on side. He was inches off that line, but still.
Yeah. He tried to hold that as long as he could. White with a face-off win. Elliott Belly plays it off the wall. Humphreys picks it off. Humphreys walks in, fans on the shot, rebound for JC, a sprawling Bork, and it stays out of the net. Humphreys puts one on, stick save goes to JC, now up high to Mario Smith, goes for the shots, blocked away by White. Rosensteel feels the pressure, goes over to Kozlina, down to Christian Humphreys, in front for Smith, that pass is blocked. Pressured by Wise, and this one rolls to center ice. 2:30 to go. Rosensteel up for Christian Humphreys. Stays onside on the entry. Humphreys spinning. Looking for room. Walks in a shot. Bork the save. Rebound is there and covered up. Here at 2:17. The clock is now stopped.
Yeah, ever since that tying White goal, Red has been putting all the pressure on to take that lead back. I don't think the puck has left their zone since that 3:30 draw.
Still stay on the offensive attack. Tomko, the man for the faceoff. As we get a false start off the faceoff here. As now Alexander looks to be the man for the job for Team White. The one by Alexander to the wall, blocked away by Mario Smith, over to Malboof. Sawicki can push it out of the zone, and Red will pick it up defensively here off the stick of Tomko. Team White goes for a pair of changes. Tomko with speed. Drop pass to Christian Humphreys. Humphreys waiting. Feels the pressure of Alexander. Tries to play it along the wall, gets his pocket picked. Malboof couldn't keep it in. And now a foot race the other way. It's a 4-on-2. Led by Mark Evans. Across ice pass. Glove saved by Mistretta. On the back door of Sawicki. Keeps this game tied.
Saving the game, Mistretta there. Wow. What a save.
After that save, he did the boss type. Like, yeah, I just did that.
Deservedly so.
Off the face-off, Sawicki's shot gets a stick. On it does Team Red. Humphreys quickly up for Tomko. Even numbers here. Tomko will circle and wait for reinforcements. Tomko stutter steps, waits, looks down toward the FedEx logo for Mario Smith. Caught along the wall. Alexander corrals it. Gives it up for Bodie Wise as we approach. Oh, the clock hasn't started, as it'll be covered up there by Mistretta. Stays at 142.
Yeah, we're still at 142. No one on the ice has noticed.
I mean, I didn't until I looked up to try to be like,
I
there's going to be a minute
I
left.
noticed 10 seconds before you did. Just never got a chance to say it out loud before you did.
All right, clock is running. They got a free 20 to 30 seconds there to play. Makes it all the more entertaining, right?
Especially if a goal is scored in those last couple seconds.
Yeah. Christian Humphreys dangling. Works his way into the zone, a very shifty forward of the Kitchener Rangers. The Colorado Avalanche draftee, Humphreys. Spinning with this one, down to a minute 15 to go. Plays this one out wide to Malbouf. Crossing passes with Avery Anstis. Anstis caught along the wall by Evans, and here comes Team 1. Evans pressured by Humphreys, springs Ondos free. Ondos, a shot stick save, Mistretta. Humphreys intercepts, looking to spring Tomko free, and now Malbouf will pick it up. Malbouf walks into the forehand, and a kick save by Dylan Bork. Christian Humphreys winds up a shot, that one high over the net, and will be cleared by Sawicki. Breakaway for Goldfane. 38 seconds on the clock. Goldfane, a shot, glove, save. Mistretta challenging and quick to play it, but will be whistled dead here at 35.5.
A very quick whistle on that one. He was immediate to drop down.
I thought they'd get the benefit of the doubt there.
Yeah, it looked like he dropped immediately.
Down to 30. White with the face-off win. Looking cross for Sawicki. Sawicki underneath for Goldfane. Up high to Evans. Evans, chance blocked by Tomko, down to under 20 seconds to go. Tomko pushes this one down low for J.C. Humphreys. Humphreys in front, puck is loose, off the post by Tomko. White clears, and for the first time in the 2025 GO campaign, we are headed to sudden death overtime.
It's going to be fun. From the beginning of this game, it was going to be close, just based on the comparison of the Teal games. They both lost by 5 or 6 to Teal, so it was going to be a close game. And it ended up being the closest game we've seen so far.
That's saying something also, with only 8 goals apiece and 26 shots apiece. When you're talking about literally everything is even, everything is even.
Yeah.
So 3-on-3 for the next 5 minutes begins now, and White with the face-off win. It's Brody George trying to split his way in, denied by Malbouf. George will pick it up. Out there with Ondos and Evans. Evans at the point has some trouble with it and quick to play it underneath. Team Red gains possession. J.C. Humphreys, Will Tomko, and Luke Malbouf. Red going left to right, White right to left. Humphreys goes over to Tomko, has a lot of room to walk in. Tomko, a shot, goes bar down and pops the water bottle, and Team Red gets their first win of the season in overtime thanks to Will Tomko.
The comeback kids do it again, even though they didn't really come back. They just won the game, but you know what I mean. You get the idea.
There is a lot of space for Will Tomko to take that shot, and then beautifully placed over high on Dylan Bork.
Yeah, great placement on that shot. Too much time given to Tomko. I know you want to block off some pass options, but you can't give him that much space to just walk in and shoot it.
What a game, though. A way to finish off the second contest of today. 9-8. Team Red gets their first win of the season. Now every team has a win, but for our next contest, Purple and Teal, the only undefeated teams.
And there will be one left.
And that one will take place on the Top Advantures Power Rankings.
Yes, it will.
That's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah.
But thank you all for watching game number 2. Andrew and Evan will have the call for game number 3 of Purple and Teal. If you enjoyed this game, you're going to enjoy the next one, so stick around. That'll get started around 7:50 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll step aside. We'll be back with Purple and Teal just after this break.
Welcome into our marquee matchup for the night. It is the 2-0 Teal squad and the 2-0 Purple squad. I am Andrew Teal, alongside me, Evan Smith, as we lost Caden McCrory. So we will be back to doing what we did last week, where we're each controlling things. So if things go a little awry, just know there's only two of us here right now. But Purple winning in numbers right now, at least. It is 10 Purple skaters and only 7 for Teal. So they have the numbers advantage, but they are going to be missing Matt DeMarsico tonight.
Yeah, pretty big loss, especially this week. I know all the Penn State players on the roster just learned some small information, something about McKenna or something like that. But nonetheless, Braden Ford still representing. We think Reese Lawback, we thought he wasn't supposed to be here, but there's a number 8 wearing full Penn State gear.
Yes.
So unless he just rented out his gear to Dylan Wesner, but
yeah, we were told Dylan Wesner will be wearing 8 today, but he plays for Army. But we are going to step away for a second as we do get our national anthem for our marquee matchup. Anthem is done. We talked about who Purple's missing on the Teal end. A couple big misses that we're seeing on Teal. No Tristan Trevino, the big guy in the back. Traded their second overall pick to get him, and he's helped them massively. Also missing Braxton Whitehead, who was the second overall pick 2 years ago. So a couple big names out of the lineup for Teal.
so looking at it, I think I got Purple as the favorite.
That's what many people would say. They're coming in as the former champion. Teal coming in 6th place the past 2 seasons. And then this year they've made a big jump, seeing if they can keep the momentum rolling as we get this period underway. Quinn McKenzie will take it for Teal to start this off. Purple will intercept in their own zone, but the clear attempt will be picked off. Jack Edwards. He will move this one forward for Teal. Up to A.J. Schaff. His shot, he will score right off the bat. Teal coming out blazing hot. A.J. Schaff, the team leader in goals, gets him started early.
Another announcer's a jinx. Never hurt anybody.
Teal going to come out very hot. Goal in the first 30 seconds for A.J. Schaff. Purple not used to playing without a lead. Not since 2 years ago when they were the lowest ranked team. Coming out is Teal once again. Jack Edwards moving in. Save made by Hale. Teal dancing around into the front for Edwards. He can't bury it. Purple now trying to start their own momentum. Here comes Hickson. Hickson will lose it, and it's covered by Ethan Blackburn. And covered.
Yeah, we talked about Teal losing somebody with the name Blank J, but A.J. Schaff filling in that role pretty nice.
Yeah. Trevino is a big name on that defense that helped Red a lot last year to make the finals. They trade him for that second overall pick. And just been a huge anchor back there.
Bold by the goalie there.
Teal still with possession. Will eventually lose it now as here comes Purple once again. Hickson will move it forward. Kanyan in. Save made. Blackburn rebound available off the side of the net. Teal will clear this one down. Ty Voigt will pick it up at his own blue line. Moves it forward for Kanyan. Kanyan loses it. And it's picked up by Carter Williams. Carter Williams leaves it off for Quinn McKenzie. McKenzie back to Williams. Williams in front. Save made by Chase Hale. Here comes Purple. On the intercept there is Teal. Here comes Williams. 2-on-1. Carries in. Pass across. Can't find McKenzie. McKenzie passes one. Snyder waits. Still holds. Passes this one across. Shot there. Gloved away by Hale, and he will play it. Hickson will find his way up to Jukes. Pass offside. Pass it back, but I don't even think Jukes had touched it at that point.
Yeah, that was too finicky after that first game.
Yeah. Probably the intent to touch was there, so they called it dead anyway. So face-off at center ice. Winning it forward is McKenzie. Now here he comes. Into the slot. Tries to pass it across, but it's blocked up. Jukes will have it for Purple. He'll leave it for Voigt. Voigt loses it to Ameldo. Amel will send it all the way around to Edwards. Edwards in for Teal. In. Toe drag across, and burying it is Teal once again. It's Quinn McKenzie, and a 2-0 lead early.
It's interesting seeing that short bench team showing off more of the speed early in this game. Now, we kind of saw that a bit in game 1-2 where Green had more of the bench. Team Black came out swinging, especially in that second period. We'll see if it turns out like that one did, where the team with the more depth ended up picking it up later in the game.
Purple with only one shot so far, which is rare because the first 2 games of the season they picked up 50 in each. So they've been a shot-heavy team so far, being blanked by a defensive Teal team. Moving in, intercepted, great pick by McKenzie.
Right on cue.
Moving forward is Edwards. He can't hold it. Jukes with it. Jukes will pass this one back. It'll be tipped up. Eventually, Goiak with it. We'll send it into the bench, and we get a whistle. Snyder on the draw will not win it. Purple has it. Tries to clear it out. Great defensive play again, though, by Eimler. DeMarsico. In, shot blockered away by Blackburn. Here comes Teal once again. Moving forward. Edwards. Into the slot, shot goes wide. Hale will push into the corner, where it's picked up by Snyder. Back to the point. Eimler finds a man in front, saved away by Hale, though, on Edwards. DeMarsico up to Kanyan. Kanyan will carry in for Purple. To the slot, bounces over a stick, and another great defensive play by Teal. And they're going to bounce this way. Here comes Edwards. Edwards in, pass across, save made, rebound, it goes in! Jack Edwards picks up the rebound, and an early 3-0 lead for Teal.
I don't even know what to say. Teal was just all over the place in this game. Purple looks like they're missing a few stuff.
Teal missing one of their captains in Matt DeMarsico. Seemingly leaving a bigger hole than anyone would have imagined. Because now Teal once again, Quinn McKenzie sends it to the center. Williams loses it off the stick of Kanyan. Conyon's pass there, briefly intercepted by Snyder. Now that pass is intercepted and sent back into the purple zone for an icing. Teal has shown off a lot of great defensive play against this purple team.
Yeah, and it kind of seems like they've bought into a strategy of just keep the shots off the board for that purple team that's been thriving on it. So far it's working, but again, that depth is going to start playing a factor the deeper we get into this period.
Teal can maybe get a big enough lead that it won't matter, because here comes McKenzie with lots of speed. Shot there. Save made. Hale thought the pass was coming, but McKenzie took the shot. This one's going to go the length of the ice for purple. Another great defensive play there by ML. Purple's pass goes awry. Ends up behind the net for DeMarsico. Up to the point. Nolan's shot can't find its way to the net. Sent down to Quinn McKenzie, and a 2-on-0 for Teal. McKenzie will take it himself. Save made. Still with it. Purple has not put on a lot of pressure. Now over to Snyder. Snyder towards the slot. Takes a bounce off a purple boot. Down below the net. Snyder at this. Down to Imler. McKenzie. McKenzie tried to find in front. Digging for it with Williams. McKenzie out to Williams. Williams shot save made. Rebound was almost there for Snyder. Snyder still within the offensive zone for Teal. Down. Can't get a pass across as Williams. Here comes purple. It's Hickson. Hickson gets his pocket picked by McKenzie. Voigt will get it for purple. Back to the point. Dowiak. Shot is deflected. Save made. And here comes McKenzie. Saying his name a lot tonight. McKenzie tries to pass across. Can't do so. Picks it back to himself. Sent out in front. Bouncing over the stick. Almost. Getting another chance there with Schaff. He's still with it. Dancing at the blue line. Down to Williams. Williams in. High shot. Will go. McKenzie digging for it. It'll make its way in the corner. McKenzie's poked off his stick, but Amel with it. In close. Save made by Hale. Purple finally getting possession after Teal dominated for a while there.
It's early in this game, but it feels like I'm watching a San Jose Sharks practice. Just probably with a lot more scoring.
That one's going to be sent clear. No icing is the call. Dowiak will be the first one to it for purple. Teal just going to sit back and play a little trap defense with four players. Moving forward, purple finally gets in. Hickson gets pressured off by ML, and Snyder will pick it up. Bounces it off the boards. Jukes will get there for purple, but poked off his stick. Hale will have it. Moves it forward for purple. Here comes Voigt. He'll leave it for Hickson. Hickson in. Shot save made. Blackburn. And covered. Four shots in 10 minutes for this purple team. That's an absurdly low number.
Yeah.
Purple win this draw. It'll go back to the point. Voigt passes this one down to Jukes. Jukes tried to go in front, blocked away by Snyder, and into Blackburn. Another defensive masterclass by Teal.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So far, it ain't broke.
Yeah.
Speaking of broke, remember this broken goal song?
Teal will take it off the draw. Imler intercepted, and it'll go in. Ty Voigt off the bad turnover, and purple makes their way to the scoreboard.
Snuck it through the 5-hole. You saw that one-timer. It looked like the kind of shot that you'd see go right over the glove. That's what the goalie bid on. Nice slow roller right between his legs.
Off the draw, the puck's going to go straight into the bench. As Voigt will finally get on the board. His first of the season. I believe, yes. Make sure I was reading my stat sheet right. Purple now hoping to gain some momentum with that one. Moving forward,
I'm shocked,
taking out those Imler.
I'm shocked that was onside.
Imler still digging with it up to Snyder. Snyder digging with it, loses it. Now here comes Purple. It's Jukes. Pass across, save made, Blackburn. Purple seemingly flipped a switch, but Blackburn able to come to the bell on that one.
Hey, he wasn't going to let that one happen again.
Coming out with it is Amel. We just went up towards the point. Couple bounces, and it's right back to Amel's stick. He moves it up to McKenzie. McKenzie dancing behind the net. Into the slot. Shot, scores! Carter Williams takes that 3-goal lead right back. And Teal makes it 4-1. Off the draw, Teal with it again. It's Edwards. He'll find his way up to McKenzie. Here comes Teal once more. McKenzie tries to find Williams. Will find a man instead. Edwards with a great shot pass to find McKenzie's stick. Just wasn't angled in the right direction. Here comes Purple. Shot there will go in. I believe that's number 8, which is the one we're not sure of, if it's Lawback or Wesner.
Well, let's call it Lawback so I can get my bit in.
We'll call it. We'll see, actually, when they announce it.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll see who it is. Teal will win that draw. We're back to a 4-2 game.
There were a couple announcements that they just said the number, so I don't think they knew down there.
Cutting in is Teal.
Seems like he can't find it either.
Purple cutting forward. Hickson across. Shot, save made. Blackburn. And covered. That was the last Teal goal that we just got. That was Carter Williams' goal. So we'll have to wait for another announcement, as we got a lot of goals back to back to back right there. Moving forward for Purple. Nolan. His shot is intercepted. Now here comes Teal. Schaff moving forward, dancing. Tried to go 5-hole. Hale covered us up. Williams now tries to find a man across. McKenzie with it. Tries to go in front. No one there. Now Purple with it. DeMarsico. Up one more time to Ford. Ford's shot, save made. Rebounds available. Save made on Kanyan. Behind the net, DeMarsico. DeMarsico. Into the slot. Into the slot, save made. Here comes McKenzie. Quinn McKenzie tries to go for the pass across. Second attempt, goes off the side of the net. Towards the slot, tries to find Imler, can't get there. Dobiak will send it around. Snyder will be the first one to get it at center ice. Here's Schaff with it. He'll leave it for Snyder. Here comes Nick Snyder. Dancing with it, goes behind the net. Back to the point to Schaff. Schaff to McKenzie in the middle. McKenzie drops it. Pass there by Imler will go out of the zone, but Imler will recover. Passes this one back. McKenzie with it. Pass will try and find McKenzie, digging for it, and eventually going all the way down for Amel. Amel moves down up to McKenzie. Now here comes Teal on an on-man rush. Has a man wrapped around him, will eventually go behind the net. McKenzie still dancing with the puck. Over the FedEx logo. Still with it. Tries to find a man across. Amel will be stopped. A lot of bodies in front. Didn't see if that one snuck through. But a great save by Hale on Amel.
All hail.
Face-off won by Snyder. Goes past Amel. Wasn't paying attention. Mel. Over to Williams. Or Edwards. Edwards will move that one up to Snyder. Snyder pass across to Amel. Shot goes wide. It's picked up by Jukes. Jukes gets his pocket picked by Edwards. Edwards behind the back pass. No one there, though. It'll be picked up by Lovac. He's now going to pick up a lot of speed and move into the zone. Shot there. Caught Blackburn off guard. Still managed to make the save, though. Moving with his Voigt. Voigt shot save made, and it'll go in. Another goal for Ty Voigt. And this game is now won. Imler with it off the draw. We'll move it up. And now Edwards. Into the zone. Behind the net. Edwards putting on some moves. Passes this one down. Williams with it. Williams up to Snyder. Snyder carrying into the slot. We'll drop it for Imler. Imler still with it. Down to Snyder. Snyder. Putting on the brakes a little bit. We'll send this one down. Williams. Into the slot for Snyder. Snyder loses an edge, and now here comes Purple on the interception. Here comes Voigt. Poked off his stick by Imler, but still the first one to it. Voigt behind the net, tries to find a man in front, poked free, rebound, still digging for it, multiple saves by Blackburn. Great job by Blackburn, shot into the slot, and it will go in. Another one for Ty Voigt, he will get his hat-trick goal, and this game is tied just like that.
Like I said, later in the period, Purple finally coming back to life. Catching up relatively on that shot count.
15-10 the shots in favor of Teal. 4-4 game, 3:30 to go in the first. Here comes Edwards. Across, McKenzie. Can't get a handle on it, digging for it, it'll go in! Carter Williams digging for it. Purple calling for a high stick, no, says the ref. And Carter Williams with his second. And the lead is right back for Teal.
Too bad there's no challenges. That would be cool, though, if they just sent video review up to us.
Yeah. That'd be an interesting review method for sure. Conyon gets taken down, and the penalty on the way for tripping is maybe a little bit of a sell job on that one, but still gets the job done.
Yeah, I think he got shoved more than tripped.
Especially since the stick was trying to lift the other person's stick. I don't know how you trip on that, but we will have our second power play of the entire day, which is more than there was last week, or 2 weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken. Conyon across. Back to Ford. Ford shot is blocked by ML. Ford still with it. Sends it the length. Hickson. Down. Conyon. Sends it one more. Hickson. Digging for it. Gets poked off his stick by ML. Just out of reach. Hickson still with it. Over to Lawback. Lawback back. Multiple passes here from Purple. Yet to see a shot this power play. There's the first one, saved away by Blackburn and cleared down the ice by Teal and Williams. Purple coming right back into possession. Kanyan moves this one back to the point. Shot, save made. Rebound is finally not out by Teal. Kept in at the line.
Braden Ford, what a dive there.
Digging forward and covered by Blackburn. And wow, that one barely. As we hit 1 minute to go in this first period. 30 seconds of power play for Purple.
And Braden Ford's one of those guys that kind of shows you how important this kind of league can be. Goes to Penn State University, only played in one game last year. Obviously, their lineup just got a whole lot more intense, but he's got an opportunity this summer to play with some of his teammates, make some good impressions, maybe perform better alongside them when they head back to Penn State, earn a spot in that deep Penn State lineup.
Blackburn currently without a stick as Purple coming in. Penalty expires. Shot there, goes wide, and it'll come right out to Quinn McKenzie, right out of the box. Quinn McKenzie moving in, passes this one across one more time. Quinn McKenzie buries it with 20 to go. Out of the box and on the board for Quinn McKenzie.
So that's what that prison break means.
Don't think that was, but
I know.
Close enough. Is it looks like they're going to try and set up a whistle, but they are not. Teal will strike last in this period as they take a 6-4 lead into the break. We will be back for the second half in about 3 minutes for Teal and Purple. Second half about to begin. Teal and Purple. Teal up 6-4 on the reigning champions in Purple. Shots 18-17 in favor of Teal. If you missed the last minute of that first half, Quinn McKenzie breaking out of the box, going in on a breakaway, a 2-on-0 I should say, and scoring with just 13 seconds to go as he has the puck now. He'll move forward for Teal. Dances around Jowiak, behind the net, in front. Shot there by Edwards, won't go. Clearing attempt by Purple is intercepted by McKenzie. Pass around. Will end up in the corner for McKenzie to pick it up himself. McKenzie turns it over. Jukes now with it. Jukes on a 2-on-1. Tries to get around the man. Lying down. Save made. Blackburn and multiple more saves by Blackburn on Dowiak. So, Evan, what were your thoughts on this first period? On the first period we saw today?
Well, Teal did what they needed to do early in the game. Then they kind of got tired out. That break felt shorter than the last two games too. So, I think the key will just be doing what they can on defense to conserve their energy, as obviously their bench is all but non-existent.
Teal with 3 less bodies than Purple has, but still managing to move away. Snyder on a breakaway, misses the net. Did look like Williams got taken out with a hit on making that play. But here comes Voigt. Sends that one around. Behind the net is Kanyan. Sent in front. Shot goes over the net. Cleared out there by Amel. Now here comes A.J. Schaff. Save made. Rebound was available, but covered away. And Hale going to play it almost into danger as Williams was right there. Kanyan will carry for Purple. His shot goes wide. That'll wrap around. Now here comes Teal again. Williams. With just Laubach to beat, no one to pass to. As Purple's going to come away with it. Here's Kanyan. Kanyan with it. Tries to find a man. Can't do so. Save made Blackburn. O'Brien will send it around. It's Kanyan. Getting it out is Edwards. And now here comes A.J. Schaff. A breakaway. Save made by Hale. Purple now countering with a 4-on-2. Laubach makes its way to O'Brien. Back to Voigt. Gets around one. Pass is intercepted. Back to the point. Shot goes wide. Behind the net. And it'll be picked up by Teal and A.J. Schaff, who's digging with it with Voigt. Coming out with it will be Jack Edwards, who gets taken down, who sends this one up to McKenzie. Quinn McKenzie on a breakaway. Scores! Quinn McKenzie gets the hat trick on the night and makes this 7-4 Teal.
Purple just looks like they're right back where they started the game at. Just discombobulated is probably the only, for some reason, the only word I can come up with.
Yeah, it looks like they got lulled back into that sense of security that they had at the game start. And it looks like Teal's taking advantage again. And now an interception by Snyder. Snyder still with it. He'll drop it. Edwards dancing in. Loses that one in the crease, though.
If defense wasn't a thing, that would have been a really good-looking goal.
Doviak moves it up to DeMarsico. He fans on the pass, but it still will make its way to Hickson. But no one in the area. Snyder will pick it up for Teal. Can't find the stick, though, of Edwards. And all the way down to Doviak, it'll go behind the purple net. 18:40 to go in this second half. Purple losing for the first time in the second half of a game this season. Moving forward is Hickson. Gets his pocket picked. Pass goes all the way to McKenzie. McKenzie across. Shot goes high and wide. McKenzie with a lot of bodies around him, still managing to keep the puck out to the point. Edwards still with it. Edwards towards the slot, and no one there. As trying to find, and will find, a stretch. Save made by Blackburn on Ford. Ford will take it back, but Amel will poke this one free, and now we got a 3-on-1 for Teal. Amel will drop off, so 2-on-1. McKenzie in, waits, poked off, and wide by Jukes. Intercepted, though, by Teal. Now here comes McKenzie. 2-on-0, shot right into the glove of Hale. And he will play it. Once again, Hale does not like to hold the puck.
He's trying to get out of here fast.
Kanyan back, tries to find the pass across. Combination of good defense and a bad pass, and that one's in the corner.
I think Hale thinks Chick-fil-A closes at 9.
Heimler will send that one over. Williams with it for Teal. Will send it the length of the ice, a little bit past the stick of McKenzie, but he still will be the first one to it. Behind the net goes for a wraparound. Net comes off. Hale will still be playing with it,
Yeah.
with the net literally in a different direction. But that's only hurts Purple that he's sitting there playing with it. Here comes Hickson. Drops it. Shot off the crossbar. Rebound. Save made Blackburn.
Wow.
What a save. Incredible.
And you saw guy from Purple there took his glove out trying to look around there, and then he goes to the goalie. Yeah, you got it.
The first shot goes off the crossbar, bounces back right to the stick of Kanyan, I believe. and just sprawling across to make the save was Blackburn.
I mean, Kanyan almost just murdered a guy with a high stick there. Had he just been a little bit to the left or something.
Hickson gets his pocket picked, and now here comes Teal. Moving forward, it's Schaff. Schaff shot save made. Rebound sent in front and saved away. Just under 16 to go in the second. Kanyan might have been offsides there, but no call. Shot there, gobbled up by Blackburn. Blackburn playing out of his mind today.
Yeah, the second period especially, he's been going insane.
Blackburn 2-0 with a 5 goals against so far in the GOAT League.
Very good in this league.
Sent around to Amel.
Most other leagues you see a 5.0 and say, is your last name Jordan?
Amel will carry in. Puck is loose. Hale didn't know where it was. Williams trying to send it for McKenzie, just a little too hard.
Better, he just didn't want to play it. Or hide it, sorry.
Amel loses it. Now here comes Purple. Bounces off the stick of Kanyan, and Schaff will be back to play it. Jukes with a great play to get Schaff off the puck. Kanyan back with it. Kanyan poked off his stick. Jukes will pick it up off the boards. Poked free. McKenzie has lots of speed. He'll get there. Beats O'Brien to it. Puts on the brakes, though. Still digging with it. Loses it to Voigt. And now here comes O'Brien. O'Brien back to Voigt. Played out to Blackburn, who will move this one forward to McKenzie.
Bold move.
McKenzie now drops it. Pass goes all the way across, finds no one, and now Voigt with it for Purple. Ty Voigt poked away again. This Teal defense has been a problem for Purple. Pass in front, rebound will go in though. Just as that is said, Will O'Brien will bank home the rebound.
Oh, throw enough stones at a glass house, it's going to shatter. That's just with those rebounds for this whole period.
Purple trying pressure off the draw. But Edwards with it for Teal. Edwards over to Snyder. Back one more time to Imler. Imler back to Snyder. Snyder will break forward. Snyder moving forward. Gets stood up by Lawback. Here comes Purple. Imler with a great poke. Gets it off Voigt's stick. Voigt into the slot. Poked away there. Back to the point. Dowiak. Shot glove save made by Blackburn. Edwards digging with it with Purple. It'll go to Voigt. Out to O'Brien. Snyder intercepts the pass to the point. Snyder sends this one across. Blocked by Lawback, who will still have it. He'll move it forward to Voigt. Voigt tries to find someone, and it'll eventually make its way to Lawback. O'Brien, across. Shot, goes wide. DeMarsico keeps it in, but right to Quinn McKenzie. That is the worst person on Teal you want to put that right on the stick of as he moves it forward up. Edwards, across. Save made by Hale on Snyder.
And that time freezes it. Actually, I don't think he had much of a choice there.
Yeah. We're going back to Ethan Blackburn, 2-0 with a 5.0 goals against. Compare that to his actual team in Duquesne in the ACHA, 5-9-2 with a 5.12. He has better stats in the GOAT League than he did with Duquesne.
Interesting. I'm trying to find somebody to analyze that, but it kind of makes no sense when you think about it.
Yeah.
Unless you had a major improvement over the offseason.
Great play there. Getting across on Ford, and now here comes a 2-on-1. Edwards' shot goes off the side of the net.
Duquesne's got a lot to be excited for.
Snyder's pass won't go. That one will go all the way down. Blackburn will be out to play it. It'll end up on a bad stick for him, but a great defensive play, and now here comes Teal once again. A little bit of a hacking and whacking behind the play as the 2-on-1 develops for Purple. Moving in, save made by Blackburn once again. 11 minutes to go in the second half, and Blackburn's been incredible.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting to see how aggressive he is. Usually you see goalies with those kind of stats kind of be simmered down a bit. He's running out of the net when he needs to. He's making some great passes, poke checks, etc.
Hickson at the point. Will lose it. Edwards. Dangerous spot as he's got 2 Purple on him. As he's going to push through all of them. And it'll go for Teal. Schaff. Save made Hale. Rebound poked away by McKenzie. Finally got the message that he's not going to cover it. And an ice is the call on Purple.
Hale was really flustered there, but all he had to do was keep his glove down.
Yeah. Teal's finally realizing that he's just going to play it every time, so just put pressure on him, make him cover it, because this is also killing time now, because they just iced it. As we hit the 10-minute mark in the second half. One over to the wall. Good read, though, by Imler to stay on him. Poked away by on Purple. Purple seemingly getting a little more aggressive as this game is getting towards the end. McKenzie going to hold it against the wall, and Teal going to break out. Jack Edwards moving in. Makes Hale miss. Save made by Hale. Able to stop him.
There.
Tried to get Hale to jump and couldn't find him.
Yeah, tried to get Hale to jump. He ended up leaping himself. Edwards is really unhappy against those boards right now.
Seemingly Purple has picked up the aggression. A lot more hits coming in.
Definitely reached a lot back leading that charge.
Sent in front by Edwards. Blocked by Lawback. Imler with it. Sent in front. Rebound is still available. Digging for it. Edwards unable to find it.
From experience, if Teal is leading by more than 3 goals by the time it reaches like the last minute or so, they should be watching their backs.
Oh, that's never good to hear in a summer league. That's for sure.
There's some Boston fans who know what I'm talking about. And Michigan. And one other team that I can't remember.
McKenzie on the draw. It'll go to Purple. Jukes moving forward with the puck holder. Hickson still with it. Sent it in front. Save made. And covered there by Ford. As we're down to 8 minutes to go. Still down by 2 goals as Purple. Teal will win the draw. No one there to pick up for McKenzie. Coming in. Save made on Ford. Blackburn having to kind of play that himself because no Teal went to go to the puck.
Ford wanted that one.
He really did.
He threw his arms up. Thought he had it.
Digging for it. Teal will come out with it with Schaff. Sent behind the net. No one there for Teal. Out to the point. One more pass. Save made. Blackburn again. Incredible.
This man does not want his GAA to go up.
No, he doesn't. Down to 7 minutes. A whole minute killed on 3 faceoffs, basically. Teal will win that one back. Amel sends it around the boards. Unable to be kept in at the line, though. Digging for it is Schaff. He gets around the defender. Moving in, fans on it. His shot there goes off Purple. No one knows where it is. Williams will send it in the corner. McKenzie will pick it up. Tries to find Amel. Goes off of Jukes. And Amel will send it down where it's picked up. Williams in front. Schaff digging for it. Covered by Hale. And a whistle finally as Hale seemingly under a lot of distress. Win for McKenzie. Back to the point. Williams' shot will go into the corner. Turned over off the stick of McKenzie. Digging for it. Breakaway. Kanyan can't pull the trigger at all as he's met by Schaff.
Wasn't ready for that butterfly position. The whole net was essentially blocked.
Shot there goes wide. Williams with it. Gets met by Jukes, but it'll end up on Schaff's stick for Teal. Williams. It'll make its way out to Jukes. Jukes tries to find someone in the slot. Only Schaff is there, and now McKenzie. Cutting forward for Teal. Puts on the brakes to get around Jukes. Killing time goes down to Williams. Williams to Imler. Imler in front, no one there. Snyder with it. Still digging. Sent around and picked up. Williams. Sends it down. McKenzie behind the net. To the slot. Imler. Sent in front. No one there for Teal. O'Brien will drop it to Dowiak. Under 5 to go in the second half. Here's Voigt. 3 goals for him. Moves it forward. Lawback poked off his stick by Schaff. Schaff tries to find Edwards out of his reach. And icing is the call. That's going to still kill some more time that Purple needs.
It's about a minute and a half going from the clock stopping.
Yep. And it probably will at this score, which is something Purple is looking forward to, but
it's interesting. They've passed them up. They've passed Teal up in shots, even though if you look at the second period, it seems like Teal has been massively outplaying them.
Shot there, save made. DeMarsico. Shot there is tipped wide. To find its way out. Shot is sent all the way up in the air. Eventually it'll be sent around to the other corner. Voigt. Tried to send it in front, intercepted though. Edwards clears that one for Snyder. Snyder enters the offensive zone, puts on the brakes. Will circle back. Seemingly killing time as here he moves it forward to Edwards. Edwards with lots of speed. Circles back into the slot. Across. Schaff shoots in wide. Snyder. Back to Edwards. Edwards still with it. Back to Schaff. Across. Snyder. Playing keep away at the blue line. That one doesn't go the way it intended. O'Brien intercepts. Voigt will carry for Purple. Voigt still with it. Save made. And he'll bounce over to Schaff. Just out of his reach. Snyder still digging for it. A lot of bodies. It'll come out for Purple. In. Shot goes wide. DeMarsico. Can't get it past Imler. He'll go back to his stick. Into the slot. Shot. Save made. Rebound. Another save made by Blackburn.
His right leg was just in the right place.
Digging for it. Edwards. He will eventually get it. 2:25 to go. Edwards moves it over. Schaff. To Snyder. Snyder down. Edwards shot. Save made.
I'm shocked that wasn't called an offsides.
Amel will bounce over his stick and go out the center. Luke Amel, he'll drop it to McKenzie. 2 minutes to go. McKenzie will move it to Amel. Bad bounce off Edwards, but a bad pass there to McKenzie. Now here comes Snyder, 2-on-0 with Edwards. Edwards shot, he will score! Jack Edwards, his second of the game, increases the lead to 3 with 1:52.
Never want to put the cart before the horse, but that seems like the dagger.
You never know.
Yeah.
There have been bigger comebacks in the GOAT 4v4 League with less time.
And that will take full credit if it happens.
Moving forward. Purple trying. Hickson. Net is empty. Behind the net, covered by Blackburn. 1:41 to go in the second period. 8-5. Shots 29 to 36 in favor of purple. I told you, this purple team likes to shoot.
Yeah. Too far, at least today, the shots haven't been too great, and the ones that have been, Blackburn's been all over them.
Conyon's pass across. Back to him. Pushed off by Amel. Now here comes McKenzie.
Just threw a stick there.
And that will be a penalty, I believe.
Interference.
Interference for throwing the stick.
I used to do that all the time in the casual deck hockey play.
And Conyon's going to go to the box. He's unhappy about it.
Can't tell if you're like angry or laughing.
I think it's a little bit of both. I know this purple team likes to take this very seriously. They really want to win. But I also think he's joking around a little bit. It is still fun. It's Summer League.
I feel like you don't throw your stick in a serious league. Right? No.
Nah.
Only when I'm bored.
Purple now. Sending at the length of the ice, but right to Luke Amel. 3-on-1. McKenzie. Across. Scores. Carter Williams will get his hat trick goal. And it is now 9-5 Teal.
Now Conyon's mad because he tried going out of the box.
And you can't do that. We figured that out in the first game.
Yep.
And the penalty does not come off the board, so he will sit there the rest of this game and think about what he did. Pass in front, save made, rebound for Voigt, goes wide. Amel with it. Moves that one up to McKenzie. Quinn McKenzie moving in, shot save made by Hale. Out. Shot there, gloved away on Williams. Moving forward is Voigt. Less than a minute. Shot there, saved away.
Never heard it announced as 60 seconds remaining. That's new.
That one will be cleared out the zone. It's picked up by Hickson. Hickson poked away by ML. Still with it, dances around Edwards. Down below. Back to the point. Towards the net, save made. Rebound is available. Poked out and slapped away by Teal.
Purple wanted a high stick call there.
McKenzie kicks it away from his own stick. As with it is Hale. He's just going to play with it. Moving forward. Here comes Purple with 12 to go. Shot there. Goes up into the rafters. Amel still playing great defense down to the whistle. As Teal will upset and knock off the previous champions in purple. 9-5.
And a great effort, especially missing a few players. But I think you got to say the best player of the game, Ethan Blackburn. Just wow. Had 5 goals with about 15 minutes left, and managed to shut them out the rest of the way. And it was not an easy task. They had way more shots than his team had. A lot of really good ones at that.
40 shots for purple. 35 saves. That's more saves than Teal had shots. Teal had 32 shots in the game. Final shot total 40 to 32. Blackburn played incredible this game and shutting out for the last almost full period the reigning champions, and he made some incredible saves in there. On top of that, McKenzie gets a hat trick. He gets 3, sorry. His number is 7. Also getting a hat trick, Carter Williams. So a couple of hat tricks, and Ty Voigt on purple also getting a hat trick. So 3 of the 5 goals coming from Ty Voigt for purple.
And Teal establishes themselves as the team to beat this season.
Yeah.
3-3.
Caden mentioned that the winner of this game would jump to number 1 on my power rankings, and that is the case. Teal jumps to number 1 on my power rankings. Purple will fall from 1 to 2 in my power rankings. Not that my power rankings mean anything.
We should make rankings just like the consensus.
We should.
You, me, Billy, Jeffrey.
Caden.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's there too. I can.
So that will do it for week 3 of GOAT 4v4 action. We started the day with the 0-2 green team taking their first win of the season, winning 14-10 over Black. An overtime thriller. White wins it 9-8, just a minute in overtime. And the upset, Teal wins this one 9-5 over the reigning champions Purple. And Ethan's Blackburn, his save percentage does not move. Or goals against, sorry. Goals against does not move. Stays at 5 goals against. But that will do it.
Just an angry yell from somebody from Purple down there.
That will do it for week 3. We will be back next week for week number